right, welcome back to another Storm King's Thunder, our Thursday night crew. Should be our last Thursday night game with the team split, as hopefully they will combine powers later on for our next session. So, if you missed it on Monday, the other team that went north was able to talk to the Oracle, and they have a pretty clear kind of sense of what they need to do now, and it's time for the groups to get back. But this group, who's still about 6 or 7 days behind on the timeline, maybe a couple more, we got to get them caught up. So that's what we're going to work on tonight. If you missed where the Thursday night crew left off, then you can go ahead and check that out on YouTube, where I've posted all the videos for Storm King's Thunder. And this is going to be, currently this is session 55, so we've made it up to 55 sessions, which is pretty cool. In that session, we have just finished the fight with the Uthgard Griffin tribe that had tracked them down and attacked them from the sky. We had our new character, Christian, who is playing Rex, show up to help in the fight. And though things looked dire at times, the team was able to pull it out and defeat the Uthgard barbarians. Towards the end of that session, a onrushing storm was coming, and they made camp a little bit further north from where the battle site was, and that's kind of where we left off. So, welcome to our Storm King's Thunder 5th edition game that's been running now for more than a year. Hopefully everybody will enjoy it, and we're going to kind of dive in. We got a couple players that are going to show up a little bit late, but that's okay. We've got enough here to probably move on and get the story going. I see Cars is here. It's good to see you. Has been joining in several of our chats, so I'll keep a little bit of an eye on chat, but you know how it is when you're DM and you can't watch all of it. So hopefully you can see the map that we're on. Let's make sure, yeah, the players are on the same map. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Map of the North. Let's zoom in to where our players are. So, down in the Deserin Valley, just below the Subran Hills, our party had completed their battle as they were about to start heading west to head towards the Star Metal Hills, is where they're heading to. And that's where we will pick up our battle. So our players for tonight, we have Karmic Coffee playing our Bard. You can see that on the main sheet there. So he's playing Ardreth. We have Admiral or Spammy is playing Edrim, our Druid. Colonel, when he shows up, will be playing Jarral, our Monk. We have an NPC character with them that has ridden out Tovi, who was a guard from, I want to say, Silvery Moon, if we go back up. Yeah, Silvery Moon guard, who is traveling with them. And then our new player, Rex, which will get put up on the new template, being played by Christian. And he's going to be a tiny bit late. He had class, and then he'll show up. So those are our characters for tonight. They are still currently 6th level. And we will move on from there. So after the battle, it's probably the rest of the night as you guys make camp a little bit further north from where the battlefield is, so that you've put some distance between where you were attacked by the Uthgard barbarians, who, if you recall, attacked you out of the thunderclouds on griffins, dropped, set up kind of an ambush for you that you were able to spring and then defeat. You did find all of your horses, so you have those back, but as you made camp to rest and bind your wounds, to take basically a long rest at this point, a pretty severe sleet storm hit, and you were able to kind of find some cover, but it's definitely one of those nights that is very uncomfortable without having a place to be inside. It's going to be very cold, and all of the armor and all of the stuff you have is going to be wet. Tovi took care of the horses once again by grooming them down. You guys found shelter in a set of, kind of like a set of pines that is kind of breaking the wind mostly for you, but it's still kind of a miserable night as you sleep through the storm. You go through your watches, and each person, though tired, stays up vigilantly to watch, and nothing happens or seems to attack you during the evening. And it's a storm-ridden early morning as the last watch is done, and they begin to wake up and rouse from camp. So, party leaders who are here currently, you still have some traveling to do. What would you like to do?
When we wake up, is there anything resembling dry wood anywhere around us?
Not that you're seeing offhand. Maybe if you were to search for a bit, but nothing easy to find.
So it sounds like it's going to be a bit of a wet day's travel.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I will start to put the saddle back on my horse and get it ready to go.
Yeah, and as Tovi is up putting her armor back on, she's got the horses begun to saddle the other horses, got them all set and ready to go, and everybody's able to kind of mount up and begin to head out. The key that decision for the day is whether to kind of skirt around a little further south or to cross over the Subran Mountains there and start finally heading west.
And where were that tokens at right now?
Yep, you're at this token here.
How, when we say around, is that, it looks like there's the highest part of the hill right there. Is that flatter to the side, so it's more, it doesn't look like we'd have to go too far to go around the south of it?
No, it probably is going to add, and you're not really sure because the map is just generic. Sure. It's probably going to add a few hours, could be anywhere from 5 to 6. You're not quite sure to the journey. If you cut across now, you might save yourself some time. But again, it's hills, so it's a little bit harder going. It's a little bit more exposed, but it's probably a little quicker.
Well, Edrim, I'd say let's... Oh, go ahead.
They're barren hills, then there's not much in the way of trees?
Yeah, it's very little tree cover in the hill portion.
I think I'd rather stay in the trees and just go to the south of them a bit then.
Okay.
That's okay with me. I'll change into lion shape and scout ahead.
Okay. So you see Edrim switch into his lion shape. It takes... You can tell that how bad the rain is and the drizzle is, that it's only a few moments before you can tell he's completely soaked already also. And you guys begin to skirt around using cover the southern portion of the Subran Hills. The day is definitely very dreary. Yeah, so it's going to take a day till you get over there. All right, let me remove this line here. I was just showing you the river. So you guys travel throughout the day. Edrim, every now and then, you seem to catch in some of the cloud cover as the clouds will break for a moment, and then they'll be thicker at certain portions and elevations. You do think you see off in the distance, and this is miles and miles away, definitely not able to see you, but every now and then you see what looks to be like shapes flying, probably griffins. But it doesn't seem like they see you at all. And you go through the entire day, and you get to this part of the Subran River that kind of leads back to the Desserin River.
Okay.
As the sun begins to go down towards the evening, just as you're about to set up camp and you're finding like a copse of trees to sleep in, the storm passes as it hung around all day but continues to move westward. And then you get kind of a clearer night. What's definitely clearer, it's very cold still. Ice and frost will probably form over the evening, but the rain and drizzle and it was kind of more like a sleet, not quite a snow, has passed. and you get more of a clearer night with the moon out.
Okay. If I get an opportunity, I might try to find some game.
Sure, yeah, you can make a survival check. Yeah, you're able to bring down a game enough and bring it back to camp that everybody could eat from it without having to use a ration.
Okay.
And I'll look around in the area we're at for some drier wood this time, so maybe we can have a bit of a fire to cook the food on and have a slightly warmer night.
I can take care of that too. There you go. Instant fire.
Nice.
All right, so an evening goes by. Once again, do we have your... I don't remember if we have your watch written down anywhere, do we?
I think it is in there.
Oh, I bet it's Tovi, Edrim, Jarral, then Ardreth, probably. Ardreth on the last.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so once again, you guys are able to go through the evening. You don't see anything throughout the night. Clear skies. You're able to keep the fire mostly hidden but warm enough to kind of start to dry out some of your items. Tovi once again helps with making sure the horses are tended to, and we go through an uneventful night and wake up the next morning and begin to travel westward. Where would you like to go now?
Well, there should be a road west of us. We want to head just straight west.
Yeah. Do we know where in the Star Meadow Hills we need to go? Is it that purple
It's the
spot?
purple dot, but it's not exact. It's like,
Okay.
hey, it should be around here, but that could be, a couple of square miles, could be tens of square miles that you have to kind of look around. What you were told is you're looking for a dwarven settlement called Twilight Tor, and you're supposed to find and talk to Yognag, Anvil Spine.
Okay.
You have general directions. They were kind of given to you, so you should be able to find the general area, but it may take a little bit of searching to find where they are.
Wasn't there also something about contact in Long Saddle that might be able to give us information?
The Harpers in Long Saddle were looking for you guys to check in when you had completed your mission, so that they knew the status of your team, and the other team was going to be checking in also. So they kind of were keeping an eye on, or an update on, how successful each of the teams were.
Okay.
And yeah, you do the contact, and yeah. He's there's a dwarf smith in Long Saddle. That's your Harper contact. All right. So, make for the road?
Yeah. Due west.
All right. So, it's pretty easy to find a place to cross this river. It's not very big, not like it was coming down the Subrin. You're able to find an easy place to ford across with no difficulty at all. Again, keeping eyes to the sky and your surroundings. You're not really seeing too much. Seems like maybe the cold and the storm has kept most critters away or holed up or trying to find a place to stay warm. It's definitely gotten colder, so the ground has gotten a lot more frozen as you make it to the road. And you still probably have about an hour of sunlight as you come across the long road.
Anybody else in view on the road? Or other
Not that you
travelers?
can see in. Go ahead and make a survival check. Anybody that wants to look at the road.
Can I get advantage for smell?
Nope, this would be vision. Oh, didn't need it.
So what are we rolling?
I was just looking at the road that you guys have just come across.
Perception?
Survival.
Survival. Survival.
Okay. Yeah, so
I'm dead.
Edrim and Ardreth notice. The thing that stands out is you notice there aren't any tracks, so you're not seeing wagon tracks, you're not seeing horse tracks. It seems like nothing's passed probably within the day, or it would have maybe left tracks in kind of the wet ground that would have then frozen over. So it's definitely been a pretty barren road for at least a day or so. And yet you see nothing as you get to the road. When you're looking north or south, you don't see anybody upon the road.
All right. Well, I'll pause briefly at the road and look back to everybody else, kind of woof a little bit, and then I'll cross and start looking around the other side.
Okay.
Do we understand the wolf? I'm gonna assume that means that we can continue moving forward. I'm gonna keep an eye out as well as we travel.
Okay. How far off the road are you going, Edrim?
I'll stay within sight of the road, and I'll wait to see if the rest of the crew is going to head north along the road or head into the Star Meadow Hills.
Okay. Yeah, so what's the rest of the group want to do?
We might as well go north on the road for a ways. And then if we see any obvious trail heading up into the Star Meadow Trails, or in Star Meadow Hills, we can head up that way.
That sounds good to me.
All right. So travel along the road is definitely easier than it's been across the plains and the hills. You'll make pretty good time. Though you only really had an extra hour, you can make it a little bit further down the road before you need to start looking for camp, unless you're going to ride through the night.
Oh, I could use the rest.
Okay, I agree. We'll rest.
Okay, so looking for a camp spot. All right, so once again, you guys set up camp. Kind of the normal procedure of everybody, setting up their bedrolls, little campfire, taking care of the horses. You'll probably need to restock horse food at some point. You probably still have another 7 days or so. But you've gone through quite a bit of what you had from Rivermoot. So it'll be something to keep in mind as you continue traveling. And
How far away from Long Saddle?
2 or 3 days, as a guess.
As a guess, yeah. That's what you would think. I mean, it's
Okay.
hard to say exactly where you are. Even though we're staring at a map, your characters aren't necessarily.
Okay. So I guess as we're sitting around the fire, just assessing, our resources and stuff, I guess we'll just have a quick chat, I guess, about the food situation for the horses, and I guess I'll suggest that we, once we find what we need in Star Meadow Hills, then first thing we should do is stop in Long Saddle before we head back. Restock for the horses.
Agreed. Unless we can find anything in the area we're going to.
Right.
All right, so we can kind of skip through. We can get 20. Yeah, so we could do a couple of days here of travel. It's pretty barren on the road. You've made camp a couple of times, so about the second day. You have not seen any clear road that leads into the Star Meadow Hills. It doesn't look like there's offshoots. You still haven't come across homesteads or anything. You haven't even passed any travelers. It seems like the weather's maybe kept people at home, or at least postponed their merchant trips. And it is towards the colder months, so you would know that travel along the roads slows down at that point.
Are griffin sightings becoming more frequent?
Haven't seen him in the last couple days. The last time you saw him was just after the battle, but you haven't seen him since you headed west. You got on the road, you haven't seen any.
Okay.
So at this point, it's about the second day. You feel like it's time that you need to at least head in. You don't feel like you need to go any further north. And you're kind of looking for a vague description of a set of hills and a set of a certain copse of trees. And it's definitely one of those things where you're going to have to look around a little bit for it. It's not just going to be there's a straight line or there's a road or there's a sign that points to it.
Have there been any birds flying overhead?
Yeah, throughout the day you would see different ones flying south. So yeah, lots of different types of off and on. You would see birds here and there.
If I happen to spot one around the time we make camp, I'll try call animals again.
Okay.
See if I can get any information on where this camp is.
I thought you were going to lure it in for dinner for a minute there.
Don't need to have a long saddle.
No.
It's one thing to kill it, the other one to call it in.
Well, I might have found something. Going hunting.
13, nope. Nope, did not come across any game. So yeah, so you're gonna, it's a spell that you cast, right? The call animal or speak with animal.
Yep, speak with animals.
Yeah, so you throughout camp, you do find what appears to be some type of snowbird that's heading south, but is kind of sitting on a tree branch as the sun is going down, looking like it's going to kind of roost there until the next day. What would you like to communicate?
Well, I will ask which direction it had come from, and if it had been over the hills on the west side of the road.
You get the impression it definitely came from the north, and it's heading south, and it even says to you that you should head south too. It's cold, and if you want to be warmer, you should head south.
Okay. So it probably hasn't been far enough west to see anything I'd be interested in.
I mean, it was pretty high up, but I mean, it can see the hills from the road at the heights that it was flying.
Yep.
And it recognizes kind of what you're saying is like the bumpy ground kind of thing, but it didn't recognize anything else as far as...
Okay. I will leave it some seeds and some breadcrumbs and return to the camp.
All right. So another night goes by. The watches kind of tround on. It's been kind of similar to what we've seen already in the last couple of days. Tovi, then Edrim, then Jarral, then Ardreth. And then we see the sun. Although it's rising, again, it's cloudy, steel gray clouds out. Cloud cover's kind of lower. It's not raining, but it's windy, it's cold. Another kind of miserable day for traveling as the sun rises and you guys begin to pack up camp. But nothing happened throughout the night. What would you guys like to do?
Kind of the same thing again in the morning. So get the horse ready to go, eat some breakfasts. That's about it.
I'll assist in going over the horses, making sure they're bearing up under the weather.
Yeah, you recognize that Tovi definitely has a pretty high animal handling skill, definitely with horses especially. And yeah, they're all in great shape. You guys have not been riding them hard. They've received no injuries throughout the traveling, so they're in good shape. Food supply getting smaller, but it's not anything that you're too worried about yet.
Okay.
So heading into the hills, travel begins to get harder as the hills. This is a very hilly kind of area, so it's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of losing sightline of the horizon. There's some trees sparsely here and there, and you guys kind of go into the hills and you start to kind of look around. So we'll start doing some kind of searching for the signs that Harshnag had mentioned to you on how to try to find this village, this camp is what you're looking for. So you guys would be able to do probably perception checks. As you crest hills, you're able to see a little bit further out, and as you're looking around, you're trying to find the signs that were described to you throughout the day. All right. Yep. Ardreth, you start to see some of the things that you think are going to get you closer, and you start heading more to the purple dot. You spend most of the day, and this has now been about the 6th day since the battle, so this is definitely almost your 12 days at this point. So you're right on schedule, but this is the 12 days. And as you're looking, you think you've kind of found some of the things Harshnag described to you, but as you're kind of standing on this hill, and it's towards, it's probably about noon, midday, you're looking around, but you're not really seeing a camp, you're not seeing fires, you're not seeing any structures whatsoever, but you do see some of the things that he had mentioned, like a rock formation or a certain hill, or a certain thing that he had said that you'd be able to see when you were getting closer. And then what is everybody's passive? What's passive perceptions? I want to write these down for you guys.
Which one? I have a couple of them.
Whatever form you happen to be in.
Where do you find passive perception at?
It's right. It should be right under your attributes. Mine is wrong though. For some reason it keeps changing it back to 10. Mine should be 14 or 15.
Yeah, passive should be. Let's see if we can calculate it. Passive checks. 10 plus 10 plus all modifiers that normally apply to the check is your passive.
Oh,
so
is it
for
passive
perception
wisdom
would be
perception?
wisdom. So yeah, 10 plus
Okay.
whatever your wisdom score is.
Mine's an 18.
You got a plus 8?
It calculated an 18. I didn't put it inside there, so my wisdom is a 15, so it's a plus 2. I'm not sure why it calculates it at 18. Because it auto-populates it, right?
Well, it should. Yeah, there's something. All right, so it says 18.
Oh, is it? It's because my perception is an 8.
So that's Ardreth.
So
Everybody
it
else?
should be your perception, right?
Yeah, 10 plus perception, I think.
Yeah. So mine should be 15. It says 10 on my character sheet, but it should be 15.
Okay.
I have 10 on my character sheet.
Well, it should be whatever your wisdom bonus added to 10. And if you have perception as a skill, then you add plus 3, I think, because now you guys are 6th level.
I would have 14. I have an additional plus 3 in lion shape. And I have advantage on anything reliant on smell.
Yeah. But I just want to get the passive, which is the one that's not. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be Edrim, and then
Rex's is 14.
14. All right, sweet. Rex is here too. Awesome. All right, so No, that's all still lower. I will give Edrim a roll, though. I want you to do your. Oh, is that your perception roll, the 12 and the 7? Yeah, because you did
Yes,
roll there.
that was
Okay,
it.
yeah. So, yeah, you guys are looking around. You think you're in the right area, but you do not see any structures. You do not see any signs of civilization. And it's about noon.
So when he said camp, did it make it sound like it was a village or a kind of like a temporary camp? Is it in the...
He used the word camp,
Okay,
and nobody really asked him any more questions at that point.
gotcha.
And he didn't really, he didn't think to say any more than that.
Are there any signs anywhere that there's been some traffic through this area?
No, there's not roads, there's not trails. You haven't seen anything that would be, like farms or any type of civilization anywhere out here.
Does anyone have any kind of detect magic or detect illusion or anything?
I was just thinking that. I don't.
Nope.
Negative.
So this is morning now, or is this
It's
afternoon
noon.
or Noon. How far is this roughly from the road then, or from where we camped?
Well, you traveled about 4 hours so far. You think it's probably at least 12 miles, give or take. It's hard to say because you're going up and down in hills.
Okay.
It is. You guys are kind of get turned around every now and then, but then you get back on track. It's not like it's a straight line or anything.
So we didn't see like any glow in the darkness when we were camped from the hills.
Nope.
Okay. Was there any indication where that camp was further north or in the middle of Star Meadow Hills?
You've not seen anything that resembles civilization yet.
Yeah, but from the description that we were given, where to find this?
Well, you think Ardreth is the one who thinks you guys are kind of in the right spot. It seems like the rock shape that he described that would be near it, the set of the hills seem to kind of match the description.
Okay.
And it's just a general... It'd be like saying, I don't know, like in the 14th century, if I said, hey, you're going to go up to Michigan and you want to be, 12-ish miles from the lake, kind of near the south side of Michigan. Look for, a set of trees that are on a hill, and, it's kind of hard to just, there's no GPS tracking or like address signs or anything.
Okay, so I guess I'll ask Ardreth then. Was there any? So within the area, was there any indication of whether we should go north or south or any direction from this area once we kind of determine where we are?
Unfortunately, the best I can do is equate this area to the description he gave us. And I don't have any more details. Maybe we spread out a little bit and look further, but this meets all the descriptions of the different terrain features he gave us. This is it. Maybe they moved on. I mean, is there any sign anywhere of remnants of fires or anything that looks like where camp might have been?
Yeah, not that you're seeing in the vicinity. Not
So
coming
either
from
they've
the
moved
west,
on or they don't want us to find them.
and not where you're at.
And perhaps we should head north, since that is the closest town. Maybe if we don't find anything, we stop at Longsaddle, and perhaps someone may have known about a camp or something, or people in these hills.
It's as good
So,
of approach as any.
kind of suggesting that we go kind of
Head
directly
over to
north.
Longsaddle.
Well, head directly north, and then once we get out of the hills, if that's too far, then go to Longsaddle.
Okay. And I'll recommend that we don't necessarily ride single file, but even though it's hills, try to spread out, stay within eye distance of each other, but the more ground we can cover on our way there, the more likely we are to find something.
All right, I will start scouting north.
Jarral agrees.
As does Rex.
So you guys kind of fan out a little bit, and now are you just marching north? Are you doing more of searching, looking around? It's a lot of ground to cover. I mean, like,
I'm
you
going
could be next to a
slow.
hill and you're not quite sure what's on the other side of it.
We might as well go slow and make it
Yeah.
as good of
Okay.
a search as we can.
So, a couple hours go by, and you definitely get further north. And then, Edrim, go ahead and make a perception check with advantage versus smell.
Oh, snap.
All right, yeah. So you pick up what you think is probably, it must be on the wind a little bit. You think you smell probably a humanoid, kind of like leather, the smell of fabric.
Does it smell like an Uthgard?
No, you wouldn't. It doesn't remind you of the barbarians you fought.
I've been kind of doing a circuitous pattern, kind of around the rest of the group. At the moment, who's closest to me?
I don't think we know.
Yeah, just random. Let's say roll a 1d4. Oh, and we'll find out.
Should we fan out east to west, or west to east in the same order that we normally travel in?
So the closest person to you is Tovi at the moment, who's
Okay.
a little ways. You're a little bit to the northeast of the main group. That's kind of spread out. Tovi's the closest one that you see to you.
And how far away is she? About?
I mean, it depends on how far you were making your circuit around.
Maybe up to a couple hundred yards.
Yeah, then
Again,
that's about
vision.
where you'd be then.
Okay. I'm going to give one of those kind of warming up lion roars, so that it's not full volume, and try to get her attention.
Okay. Couple hundred yards. Yeah, it's pretty loud to reach her, but yeah, you can get her attention, and she looks over questioningly, hand on weapon, and she sees you there. You make eye contact.
I bounce on my front paws right where I am, and then I will try to find the source of the smell.
All right, yeah, so she kind of leans back to the left, and she kind of gives a whistle that the rest of you can hear, whether a couple of you aren't in sight of her at the moment. One or two of you probably are, just as the way the hills, are you going up and down and moving around stuff. But you hear Tovey whistle, and then she kicks her horse at a walk over towards where Edrim was. And then Edrim, yeah, you're picking up, the wind is moving from east to west, so it's a westward wind, and you're able to, I don't know, you see like probably a set of bushes. You think it's coming from there. It's definitely gotten stronger as you approach, but you don't see anything necessarily.
I'm not going to get any closer to the bush, but I'll circle around behind it.
Well, okay, so as you kind of move around to the back side, you see a figure that's kind of draped in a cloak that's of the color of the surroundings, crossbow in hand, and it's kind of tracking you with the crossbow, watching and waiting to see what you're doing as you see it now. And it keeps following you.
Okay. I'll keep circling around until the rest of the party arrives.
Do we know to head over there?
You heard a whistle, and then Tovey rode to the west a little bit.
Okay, so we're all within earshot of her?
Yeah, everybody would have been within earshot of each other. I mean, unless you decided to head off.
No, I would have been within, as 100, 200 yards.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay.
So she kind of goes back to the spot where she saw Edrim and then kind of waits for Edrim to show back up.
Okay, I'll head over there.
I'll do the same, but I'll keep some spacing between us because we've grouped up before and it hasn't ended well.
That never happens.
No.
All right, yeah, so you guys all kind of meet up, and Edrim, you're kind of out of eye line. You're definitely... They don't see you until you come back around again.
Okay.
And it's a pretty big set of... It's not like just like a small bush. It's kind of like a big set of brambles and such.
Okay. Well, I'm not too concerned yet, so I'll just take my time circling, at kind of a jog, and when I get back in view of the rest of the group, I'll kind of point my nose at the briars there.
Okay. So you guys see Edrim come back around the bushes. It's a big set of, brambles.
When you say big, like 20 feet or...
No, it probably goes on for several hundred yards.
Oh, okay, like a huge... Okay.
Does it look like there's a way around the back of it?
Yeah, you're not... from where you're standing, no.
Okay.
You don't...
I was trying to figure out if I could get on the other side of the brambles to get... kind of block whatever it is in.
Did they look out of place?
No, you've seen little sets of these here and there. There hasn't been lots of them, but every now and then you'll come across a copse of trees. Sometimes you'll come across some kind of this really rough scrub brush, almost like the sharp nettled branches and such. They're not usually clumped more than a couple hundred feet, a couple hundred yards. It's not like there's a big forest running through the hills or anything like that.
Okay.
Can I pick up kind of where the area that he's pointing to?
You just kind of see a lion head nod towards the brambles.
Gotcha, but I can't. I'm trying to figure out how much I can pinpoint the area is pointing to.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, you could make a maybe an insight check. See if you can read his body language. I mean, generally the center area.
Okay.
Definitely not the top part of it or the bottom part as you're looking at it.
So I'm going to cast plant growth in the general area that he's in, or
Okay.
where he's pointing towards, and start to make the brambles grow in that area
Okay.
so that they get thicker and try to force whatever's in there out.
Are we sure we want whatever's in there to come out?
I don't know, but it sounds like it could be fun.
Are you telling us this before you do it?
Oh no, I just start doing it.
Okay.
As he starts doing this, I'm gonna pull out my rapier.
Yeah, you watch Tovi kind of match when she sees you pull your weapon. She pulls hers. Great sword off her back. All right, so 100-foot radius, general location. Yeah, so starts to get more thick, more overgrown. Definitely can't see in them at all. Not that you saw much before the plant growth. Definitely now super thick. And you hear a low voice kind of curse. Not very loud, but definitely a curse. Let's see who would recognize it. Nope. Edrim, no. Let's see. Rex. Let's take a look. Rex will probably recognize it. Jarral, let's take a look. Nope. Jarral, no. And Ardreth, let's take a look. Let's see if you would recognize it. Oh, it's like
At the sound of it, I'm going
Jeez.
to pull out my short sword.
Ardreth knows all languages. You should have a few more there, huh?
Smarty pants.
Yeah, it was expertise, or it was one of the interesting ones that you get as a bard to pick a bunch of extras.
All right, so I'll just put it in chat. To Rex. See there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm looking for your... So, Ardreth, you hear... I think that will work. And yeah, why does... Rexton. Yeah, it should work that way. So I should be able to do /W Rexton. There it is. You hear. That work in chat?
Yes, it did. When I hear that, I let out a slight.
And I'll yell back, "It can stop if you want to come out."
In the same language?
Yep, in the same language.
No. Okay. And you hear it back say, keep your voice down and drop these infernal roots, or what would you call them? Weeds. Drop these
All right.
infernal weeds.
As much as I have control over reversing the spell, I'll at least make it stop.
All right. Yeah, so you see him kind of, it takes way longer than it should have, but he kind of slowly pushes his way through the brambles. And what appears in front of the group is a dwarf, a male dwarf who has a cloak that's really, really well done as far as the colors and the shading of the area. Would have been very hard to see him if he wasn't moving around. And as it's starting to get towards the end, you notice when he comes out of the brambles, he sees you. He still has his crossbow in his hand, not necessarily pointed at anybody, but still ready to fire. and he takes a look at all of you, and then he's kind of checking the sky, and he kind of waves you over towards the brambles, where some of the trees and stuff have a little bit of an overhang, and it looks like, and he's kind of waving you over. He's like, get out of the open, can get us all killed. He says in Dwarven.
So I'll relay the message to the rest of the party. The dwarf's saying we need to get out of the open over here, that something might see us.
I hesitate for a minute, shrug, and I'm gonna walk towards him.
I'll start moving closer to the brambles, so I'm not as much out in the open, but not close to the dwarf, so I'll still stay a ways away from him while Rex goes over.
I'll follow Rex, and I'll stay, 10 or 15 feet away from him, and kind of.
Yeah, he looks as the lion moves closer to him. He looks towards you, Rex, and he's like, "All right, now keep your pet at bay. No need to turn this into something it doesn't need to be."
I'll kind of notion towards him to back off a little bit, just so the guy doesn't seem too uncomfortable.
More than 20 feet.
That's probably good.
That's where I was heading.
Oh, that's feet. Where you're at? Okay.
Yep.
And then he as you kind of get up closer, Rex, he kind of cradles the crossbow in one hand, and he's reaching out his gloved hand that also has... He definitely looks like he's somebody who is attempting to be very camouflaged in the area. He's making quite a bit of effort that, all the weapons that he have are hidden. Nothing bright or shiny is showing. The cloak hood stays up. It's obvious that, he's trying to maintain being hidden. And just as he goes to reach to kind of... He like holds his hand out to shake your hand, and it's like he's about to introduce himself, and then his eyes kind of lock on something behind you, and then he whips the crossbow up and he points it at Jarral. And you hear him in Dwarven. He says, "Damn fool! How could you possibly travel with something like that?" And he's got his crossbow pointed at Jarral, and he's kind of looking now at the lion, back at Jarral, watching Ardreth kind of move in a way that now he's thinking is more threatening than he thought at first.
I'm gonna say,
and
whoa,
you can tell he's
there.
super nervous now. Yeah, like he's super on edge.
I'm gonna say, whoa there, calm down there, friend. We're not here to cause you any harm.
All right, let's do a persuasion roll. Let's see if you can calm him down. Yeah, 14's pretty good. So you can tell, like, he's not necessarily moving the crossbow away, and he's like, "You travel with a dark one?" And he uses a dwarven curse that you would recognize as a curse for a drow elf.
We travel with many that we come across. We've traveled with much worse. He is no threat to you. So
he grumbles a little bit, and then he kind of tentatively reaches his hand out again, and he introduces himself as Einko. Einkil. And says, "You know what kind of land you're in. It's pretty dangerous. Why would you be traveling out here? I'm surprised that you haven't met your fate already with all the damned barbarians out lately."
I'd ask you the same question. What's a fellow like you so camouflaged doing in an area like this?
And are you speaking in Dwarven? Just so I'm
yes.
clear? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you see him squint his eyes as you ask him why he's here. And he says, "It's not polite to answer a question with another question, tall one."
Okay.
And I'll respond back, "Are you sure about that?"
Yeah, and he gives you a little grumble.
And I'll chuckle.
He's like, "Traveling with a lot of elves, it seems. What is it that a man and elves would have to do in the hills.
Do we know the name of the village we're looking for, or the little town or camp, whatever it's called?
Your group does. I'm guessing they maybe told you during the travels.
I sure hope we did, because I didn't write it down.
Yeah, I mentioned it at the beginning again. Yeah.
I know you did, and the name of the guy.
Yeah, you guys are looking.
I wrote it down and I posted it in chat.
Yeah, you
I've
guys are
gotten
looking
too
for
used to
Twilight
it.
Tour.
There we go.
I would say, well, in an honor of trust, we are searching for a small camp known by Twilight Tour.
Yeah, and you see a squinting of the eyes again, and then he kind of gives a hearty laugh. Small camp. And he just laughs. How do you know of Twilight Tour?
I'll answer one of your questions, then you have to answer one of mine.
Yeah, he gives you a nod of acceptance. He's like, all right. I'll answer if I can.
And then same question as before, what is he doing out here all camouflaged by himself?
Says, in these hills, it pays not to be out in the open. Too many of these damnable barbarians flying around on griffins and attacking whatever they can find or see. Hell, there's even worse things out here. You definitely don't want to be in the open out in these hills. So I stay hidden during the day so that we're not found. I answered your question, human. Now.
He said we're
Yeah.
not found?
Yep.
I ask him, who is we?
Now he shakes his head. Question for a question. That was the deal.
Fair enough. What do you ask?
How is it that a man and several elves travel the hills? What's your purpose here?
Is anyone else near me right now? Besides just him and
I'm at least
myself?
close enough to hear you because I've responded a couple times. So
I'm going to look back at you with a look of, I don't know, evasion, or look for approval to see if I should answer his question.
and I nod. Isn't a yes, not a no.
Gotcha.
I'll put his name in chat too. I'm Kill. All right. So what do you answer?
One more time, what was his question?
Basically, what are you doing here in the hills?
We were looking for Twilight Tour because Harshnag sent us to find a specific person there.
Yeah, you see his eyes grow really wide when you mention Harshnag. Do you mention the person you're looking for?
I do not.
He says, well, you have strange company you travel with. You know, you claim to know at least a legend of these lands. Seems to me like maybe you're here looking for something specific.
We certainly are, but we're not very trusting.
And he kind of gives you a wry smile and says, neither are we.
Is there any way we could perhaps meet the village or camp of Twilight Tour? Could you lead us there?
He gives you a look. And then you see him kind of look to the sky. And he's kind of judging the sun. He puts his hand up as if he's judging where the sun is at. I could lead you to Twilight Tour, but you have to tell me why you're here. What
Are
is
we
it
still
you seek
speaking
in Twilight Tour?
Are we still speaking in Dwarven?
Yeah. And you're hearing
I'm gonna
all this,
say-
Ardreth.
I'm going to say to him in Common, do you speak Common as well?
Yeah, in kind of a broken speech, he says, "Oh, it's been a while, but I understand you."
Ardreth, do you have any opinions since you can hear the conversation?
Oh, I think we should share the story with him. Go ahead, tell him.
Okay, so I would tell him, I guess, the full story of why we're going out, but I personally don't know all the details. And I would probably mention Yognag. And whatever other details might seem like we're trusting and not trying to cause him any harm.
Yeah, so he kind of listens through it and he nods, and then he's like, "And do you tell him like who each of your party members are?" And
Yeah, I'd probably introduce everyone roughly.
okay, he's like, "Well, come on through here. We're gonna have to leave the horses under cover. We can't actually go to Twilight Tor until nighttime. Those are the rules. So we're gonna have to camp out of sight until darkness falls. That way we can't be tracked by the Uthgard barbarians and the griffins."
Has anybody done an insight check on him?
Can I go ahead and do one since I've been talking to him?
Sure.
I'd like to do one just for body language, just to see if he's not
Don't
trying to
trust
hide
our opinions. Rexton and I aren't sure.
something.
He's the most trustworthy guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, you don't get any impression that he's trying to fool you.
Okay, cool.
And then he goes back, kind of pushes back into the brambles to get further underneath kind of the cover of the few trees that are here. And there's still probably about an hour, 2 hours before the sun goes down.
Okay, well, I'd probably regurgitate to anyone who doesn't speak Dwarven what the conversation was about, and then I would say we should probably tie up the horses somewhere underneath the brush.
Yeah, Toby kind of starts finding a spot for him that's underneath, out of skyline sight. And as you get into kind of the middle of the bramble area, you can see it's kind of is stamped out a little bit. It's clear that he has been here for a while, or it's a common place for him to be. And then you just see him sitting down on what looks like kind of a not really well done, but like he must have found an old log of some sort, and carved him out a stool of some sort, almost bench-like, and he's kind of sitting on it, keeping an eye out to the sky, listening. When he's under the cover and in the brambles, he pulls his hood back some, and you can just see that he's a typical dwarf that you've seen, typical type of dwarf. And he just waves you to have a seat.
Can I tell how old he is? Like, does he look like he's been here for a while? Or does he look like he's relatively new to whatever he's doing?
You can make a perception check. You get the impression that this is a common place that this person probably comes back to, or people come back to. It's not necessarily a camp, but it's obviously a kind of a lookout or a watching spot.
Okay, gotcha.
And from inside the brambles, it's easier to see outside. and he keeps an eye on. He could see up into the sky some, and you can tell where there's little areas where he goes off, and it's clear that things are pushed in such a way that he can maneuver around and keep an eye on different areas. You definitely notice that this is has a little bit better sight line of the surrounding area than some of the other dips and hills that you've been in. So it's clear that it's a decent lookout spot. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do our let's go ahead and take our first break of the evening, maybe our only break as we go, and then we'll come back and we'll see where this dwarf takes our group. So stay tuned. We should be back in about 5-ish minutes.
Sweet.
All right, we're back and ready to continue. So thanks for staying with us. All right, so yeah, there's about an hour there, and he kind of sits in that area. You see him during the hour. I mean, he will kind of talk with you guys a little bit, but he mostly shushes you to stay quiet. He maneuvers in the brambles a couple of times as if he's looking in the different directions. So like he moves to a spot that allows him to see to the north, and he moves to a spot that allows him to see to the south, and basically keeps an eye out. And then the sun begins to set. He doesn't seem... he'll do small talk, but nothing that seems to be like details or any further information based on Twilight Tour or anything else like that. You know, he'll comment on the weather. He'll comment on, you know, how sometimes it sucks to be the one that has to be on watch or those kinds of things, but nothing that would be information gathering. And so he waits as the sun goes down, and he kind of keeps an eye out, and it gets to the point where it's true dark, not just like a twilight. And he's like, all right, gather your things and follow me.
I will do so cautiously.
I'll follow.
As will I.
Okay.
I will, as much as I'm able to, scout ahead.
Yeah, he kind of stops when he sees you try to move forward, and he's like, everybody needs to stay under cover, and you need to just follow. As he's kind of looking at Rex, I guess, to tell the lion not to wander off.
Okay, I will notion to the lion to fall behind us, I guess.
Okay. You hear a sigh, and I'll resume human form and fall in behind you guys.
Okay. So he kind of winds you. It's not a straight line. It looks like he's moving from top cover to top cover, even though it's night. He moves purposefully, but not quickly, and you can tell that he's not making a lot of noise. And anytime something does make some noise, you get kind of a glare back from him, as a glare of, keep it down. And you kind of make a circuitous route south, and it actually takes about an hour. And Ardreth, you kind of start to think, yeah, this is the area we thought we were supposed to be in. And he leads you into, again, what looks like a set of brambles, not much bigger than maybe 100 foot or so. And as you come through the brambles, on the other side of it, there is a cave entrance. And he walks into the cave, and there are two guards that are dressed similar to him, two dwarven guards that stand at the cave entrance with their cloaks up as he approaches. And he waves to them and says, Yognag has some visitors, apparently sent by Harshnag. And they kind of just give him a grim nod. They keep a hold of their weapons, but they don't seem to block your progress. And he then heads into a cave.
Well, follow.
All right, yeah, so as you get into the cave, it's about... it stays pretty pitch dark for about 50 feet. It starts to kind of turn a corner, and then you see...
So before we all follow in, do we want to have a quick chat to see if we're all going to go in or if anybody's going to stay out?
Can we tell what kind of equipment the guards have? Like armor? Do they have like really nicely crafted weapons, or do they seem rusty and old?
Everything seems covered like the scout guy. So most of the stuff is under their cloaks. Most of the stuff is covered in fabric in some way. Anything that keeps it quiet, and anything you can tell that keeps it from glinting or like they don't have exposed metal.
Okay, got it.
You think they probably have decent equipment underneath all the coverings and such, but it's hard to tell. They have stuff, you're just not quite sure what the quality is. Everything seems to be covered in an attempt to either keep it quiet or to make sure it doesn't, reflect light. Are you guys you're gonna have a conversation before you go in the cave, or we're just going in the cave?
I think we should all go in the cave. I'm saying this in our conversation that we're having before we go in the cave.
Okay.
Okay.
I agree.
But better to stick together because we don't really know what we're getting into.
Charles just raises the question because he's yeah. You weren't around for that, Rex, but Jarral has stayed outside the cave before and it's been bad. But then again, every time we get together, it's also bad. So I guess can't win. All right, so I'll go with the consensus then. I'll follow in with the group.
Okay. So you guys head in, and again, like it goes 30 feet of pitch darkness, and then it kind of branches to the left, and then you start seeing lit torches on the tunnel wall, and it becomes more of a, you can tell it's actually dwarven shaped at that point. It stays all natural towards the front entrance. They've left it as if it's just a cave in the side of a hill, big enough for the horses to be brought in. And then as you make that turn, it turns into like a dwarven hallway that's, probably about 20 feet wide, and it moves into what then turns into a large, what would be an opening, although you're under a hill at this point. It's like you walk into a dwarven settlement that's built all underground. And he kind of brings you over to where a place that you can, kind of like a stables area where the horses can be brought. He waits as you take whatever you need or whatever you want from them, get them settled in. And as he's waiting, and then he leads you, he waves you on, and he starts bringing you down further. It's more corridors. You're passing lots of different dwarves at this point. All kinds, men, women, children. And you kind of get not really a loss, but you definitely go down several corridors, left, right, left, up, down a little bit. And all dwarven carved. It's like a whole dwarven settlement. And then you come to a couple of double doors where it's half ajar, and you walk in and you see a dwarf who's at a big table looking over a set of maps, who looks up as you guys enter, and he waves you in, and he says, Einkel says, found these travelers out to the north, tracked them, they came up from the south. This one, and he kind of thumbs over his shoulder towards Rex, knows Harshnag, says he sent him. And you see Yognag slowly put his writing implement down as he stares at you, Rex, and he kind of takes in the whole group with kind of like a raised eyebrow, and he nods to Einkill, who kind of bows to Yognag, and then kind of walks out of the room, slowly closes the door as Yognag comes around the table area. And he puts his arms around his chest, and he's kind of got this, and this looks like a pretty grizzled, many battle scars, looks very strong, very built, wearing pretty plain clothes at the moment. Looking around the room, you can tell it's some type of workroom, although the dwarven craftsmanship is superb. It definitely looks like it's almost like a work office or a place where he spends a lot of time. Lots of papers and books and things strewn about and such. You can see a battle axe kind of leaning in a corner, and he kind of comes around the big table desk that he was on. He's crosses his arms. He's like, Harshnag sent you, huh? What's that old goof up to? And he's looking to Rex, who Einkill was the one that he, pointed.
And sorry, still in Dwarven or in Common now?
He's in Dwarven.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask if he can speak Common.
Yeah, he looks at your other companions, Tovi and Jarral and Edrim at this point, and shakes his head and says, "Sure." Though it's not as elegant as a language. What brings you to my town?
I say that we're on a mission to find something.
Who has more? Who has more of the I don't have the details.
I don't either.
I think I joined a little or came back in a little after that. Edrim or Ardreth, do you guys?
I can fill you guys in, but Edrim would not volunteer to talk unless he was asked a question. So Harshnag sent us here to find some artifact or object that was supposed to help us in the fight against the leader of the Giants. I forget his name all of a sudden.
Leader of the Giants is Duke Salto.
Yeah. And the rest of the party had headed to an oracle that Harshnag knew of to get information on how to end the campaign against the Giants, and we came over here to find out, or to find an artifact that was supposed to help us.
Okay, got it.
All right.
I would probably be really blunt with him.
Sure.
I think that's how my character is. I would just say we're searching for an artifact to defeat the Giants. And with you being so short, we're hoping you can help us.
And he looks at you and he's like, "Yeah, well, anybody's short to Harshnag." So Harshnag sent you here looking for an artifact. He says, kind of rhetorically a little bit. And then he goes on and he says,
Can I do a perception check? So when he says artifact, not when Rex says artifact, like, can I see if that triggers any sort of reaction?
Sure.
What would that be? Perception?
Nope, be insight.
Insight? Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, what are you looking for specifically? Like, what type of reaction are you keeping an eye out for?
Just like a... It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically for what we're looking for, but just kind of... When he says artifact, do I detect, like, they tense up, or their eyes narrow, or some sort of reaction like that word.
You don't see anything that. Nope.
Okay.
He says, "Well, I guess Harshnag did help us a few years back. He must be talking about the old tale. I'm willing to tell it to you, but once you're done and out of here, you make sure when you see Harshnag again, you tell him that we're even."
I nod.
And he kind of grumbles like, I don't like being beholden to anybody. And he says, "All right, well, take some seats. There's like benches and chairs around the area, kind of scattered. You can grab them or whatnot." He says, "Harshnag's probably talking about a story that gets told every now and then when he had visited here Twilight Tour. It was a couple hundred years ago, one of our scouts had stumbled across some frost giants heading through the hills. They decided to follow those giants. Just happened to be that they actually understood them, and overheard that they were looking for a location, as they believed this was an area where some old giant kingdom used to be. Star Metal Mountain hills are filled with all kinds of metal that's fallen from the stars, so all kinds of fools come out here looking to get rich. And that just keeps feeding the damnable barbarians that are out there. Walking around during the day is pretty dangerous with the Griffin patrols and who else, and the other horrors of the day and night. And that's why you can see that we stay underground here, and we make sure that no one is brought back to our entrance to this area. But a couple hundred years ago, that scout followed them, as the story goes, and followed them to some type of location. The way it was described, it was like a cave or an opening in one of the hills towards the west, just before you get to the Neverwinter Wood, if you kept going. They found the place, and the scout watched from concealment. The leader of the Frost Giants sent 2 of his giants in. They made their way in. There was a tremendous noise, and Frost Giants never came back out. The leader called in, yelled in several times, no answer. He sent 2 more of his men in. Again, no giants ever came out. That Frost Giant took the rest of his band, who apparently had been attacked by fire giants and had lost their territory, deciding to cut his losses, that began to head north. It was an old story that we had told Harshnag, just because it involved a possible location of a giant city of some sort, or town, or whatever it was in their language. I don't know if he ever found it. We don't head out that way. We don't send any of our people too dangerous for them to fall back and find our hidden town here. We keep to the eastern side of the hills if we go out. I could probably give you a rough estimate of where it would be, but I'm not sure you'd come out. If a couple giants go in, they didn't come out. Could be tough.
I'm going to say the giants probably just hit their heads on the ceiling of the cave and fell down. That was a loud boom. We should be all right. We're rather short.
Yeah, he gives a good hearty laugh, and he says, yeah, they're known for hitting their heads on tall things. That's probably what it was. He says, you won't be able to leave here tonight. You'll have to go ahead and stay. We got to make sure you weren't followed. It's just kind of protocol. But once the sun sets again the next day, I can have Einkill take you out close to the area we think it is. None of our dwarves have been out there. But he sure as hell ain't going to stick around. And he probably won't be bringing you guys back here. You'll be on your own.
A nice bed and some warm food sounds good to me.
Says, yep, that we can provide.
And more consumables. We need to resupply.
He's willing to give out rations. They don't really have horse food for the horses. You can probably get some... he just mentions that you can probably make it to Long Saddle for that, but he gives you regular food rations for however many you want to carry. They have plenty of food here.
Which direction are we going to end up traveling?
West.
West, okay.
He recommends you don't take the horses. They're too easy to spot from the sky. But it's your funeral.
Can we leave them here? and then come back and get them, assuming we manage to duck from the stalagmites in the cave.
He says, I can have Einkill keep him where he found you earlier in the day. He'll wait there for a few days, see if you come back. If not, we'll take him to Long Saddle and sell him. If you come back, they'll be waiting for you.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure. What are you trying to insight?
Just to see if he's up and up.
You're not seeing any deception.
Okay. Well, I didn't think I would with that. Okay. This is amenable to me.
All right, we will sleep through the night then, I guess.
Yeah.
Get out the next day.
All right, yeah, so you hear him shout, and then Einkill comes back, waves you guys on, and he takes you to a set of rooms that have beds in them but are unoccupied. They're shorter beds, but better than sleeping on the floor. The horses have been taken care of as far as food and some like grass and stuff that they've collected, but not necessarily the normal tack and food that they would need. They'll be fine, but it's not something they would live on for a long time. They usually can graze for a while, but not for an indefinite time. Most of the town inhabitants keep to themselves. Looks like they don't really trust strangers much. It looks like it's a pretty working type settlement. You can definitely see whatever they're doing here. It's a mining colony of some sort, a mining camp. They are doing, digging ore, smelting ore. It feels like it's clear that this complex goes pretty far down underneath these hills, although you're not really allowed to wander around. And then, you have a pleasant night. You wait through most of the day. There's not much going on as people go throughout their day. They're waiting again for the night, and they're going to bring you out again when it's dark. And then Einkill comes and grabs you.
Before we leave, so Jarral's going to want to... what was... Harshnag is the one who sent us. Who's the dude? Something Nag? Yognag. So he's going to try and either ask him if he can work with somebody and just kind of try and refine his maps of this area. The maps that he has, try and get some more accurate indication of where to look, where we're traveling. And just as unobtrusively as he can, or without trying to cause much offense, because he knows he's half Drow. Just kind of ask questions about like the metal that's found in the hills, like what's the story behind them, just kind of get more information on that.
He's pretty blunt to you that this settlement is here and is hidden for a reason, and they don't want people coming in here. So, he has no interest in helping make a map of the area or even refining it so it's easier for people to come back here at all. In fact, they don't want anybody coming here. They don't want anybody to know that this town is here. Very few people know of it. And you're not really able to drag him out of kind of being... I'm trying to think of the word. Is it reticent? I forget the word.
Reticent?
What that is. Reticent? Yeah. He's not given details of locations, or it's clear he does not want you to be able to find your way back.
Okay, so Jarl's fine with that. He's more curious about our destination then. So if he's not getting information about kind of this area or, any of the metal or anything like that, then he's gonna at least try and focus on getting some more information about the area we're going to.
Yeah, he just says, Einkill's going to bring you close, then you're going to have to search for a cave opening in the hill. Which hill it'll be, the story's an old legend. It may not even be true. It's just something that got told. Harshnag felt that there was something to it. Maybe there is, maybe there's not.
All right, so as dry and sarcastic as he can, Jarral will thank him for his assistance.
Okay. He goes back to kind of working. It looks like he's got all kinds of maps on his table. Taking a peek at them, though he tries to keep them mostly covered from you, the maps that he's dealing with appear to be all underground maps. Does not appear to be surface.
Offhand, he's going to ask if they ever have any difficulties with Drow.
Says in this area, we haven't really ran into them. We haven't got that deep. I'm sure at some point we will.
Okay. Drow will just nod. All right, so once we set out, Jarral is going to make a point to try and be unobtrusive, but at the same time draw as detailed a map as he can of this area so that we can find our way back. So he's not going to be obvious about it, but when he has some time, and he's going to take some mental notes and add that to his maps.
Yep. Okay. So the day goes by, the sun goes down, it's pitch dark out again, and then Einkill kind of leads you guys back out. Again, staying undercover. It's not a straight line. It's very kind of like a wiggly line, or that's going from tree cover to tree cover, or if he has to be out in the open, he doesn't stay too long, tries to move quickly, stays quiet as much as possible. It definitely seems like a different way than you came before. You're not recognizing any things, and then all of a sudden, as it seems like you're not even sure if you were going the right way or if he was leading you right to where the place was, all of a sudden you recognize the brambles where you first met him, and you must have come at it from a different angle or side or something. And then he has you tie up the horses in the bramble area, and then he says, I've never been where we're going, but as far as I know, should be about an hour, 2 hour walk. We should be there. And so he kind of leads you guys off. Again, definitely keeping his eyes on the sky. Throughout the night, you hear stuff. Way out in the distance, you'll hear like an eagle cry or a hawk cry, but it's definitely miles off, but it's loud. And when that happens, you see him, make sure he stops and he's undercover, keeps his eyes on the sky, watches for 5 minutes or so, and then begins to move on again. And then after a couple hours, it actually takes maybe about 4 or 5 hours as he's going. And you can kind of see he's looking around, he's trying to find signs, but it's in the dark. And he's having to backtrack a little bit here, and then he moves another area. But by the time the about 4 or 5 hours goes by, probably about 4 hours, he says, and it's near midnight at this point, he says, this is the area. This is what the old, tale was that gets told around the campfire. It's got to be in one of these hills around here. And, there's probably 7 or 8 different sets of hills in this area. But you don't see anything that's like, there's no city on a hill or anything.
Okay. During that travel time, when he's not shushing us, Jarral's going to, because he forgot to ask earlier, he's going to ask how much they know about the southwestern part of Sirbrun Hills. Just kind of trying to fish out information if they know anything about that location that we were kind of mentioned, that we told about.
Yeah, I don't think Einkill would have much information to give.
Okay.
I don't think he knows too. I mean, he's like, we don't really travel out that way. Most of the dwarves from Twilight Tor stay in Twilight Tor. Only a few will go out to, say, Long Saddle or head up to the northern dwarf clan holdings or head south for trade or that kind of thing. There's only a few that do that. Most people stay in Twilight Tor. He doesn't know too much about Subrin Hills.
Okay, I figured that was what he was going to say. Okay.
All right, so he just kind of gives you a wave of good luck. He says the words good luck in Dwarven, and then you see him begin to head back east.
I guess we should start looking around and exploring the different hills.
Yeah, okay, so you guys do some searching around. So go ahead and everybody can do a survival check as they kind of search around. Looking for tracks or stuff.
I'm not going to be of much use. Oh, slap.
Yeah, Ardreth, you kind of pick out a bigger hill, which, if you're thinking there's some type of buried city or structure or something, you've kind of narrowed down, like the smaller hills probably wouldn't make sense unless it's buried pretty deep. So you kind of head towards one of the bigger hills, and Edrim actually is kind of not too far off. And you kind of both come across it about the same time. You see an opening in the hill. It seems to be a couple of big rocks are in front of it in such a way that depending on where you're standing, you might not even notice there was an opening in the hill. So from certain angles, it's almost like it disappears. It's almost like an optical illusion, the way the stones are. And they look like natural stones. They don't look like worked stones or anything like that. But it just at certain right angles, you can see past, or you can see that they're set in such a way to hide what looks to be like a natural cave opening.
So as we head over to that area, does Jarral and Rexton, do you follow us? I mean, if not, I'll motion to you,
Yeah, so I assume we were all kind of searching in different directions.
Cool.
So,
All right.
But if you mention something, I'll head over there.
We'll head over towards the cave then. Because another cave to go into will end well.
They always do.
Do you want to smell anything inside the cave?
No, well, do
Guano.
a perception check with advantage. Are you in a form again? What form are you in?
Yeah, lion shape again.
Okay. You smell definitely earthy dirt, old dust, maybe the slightest whiff of bone, maybe, but not strong at all. Nothing that's recent. It gives you the impression of an old cave.
I sneeze.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are standing kind of in front of a cave opening. Looks like a natural cave opening, not something that was dug out or anything like that.
Well, I'm going to start to head in. I'm going to stay close to the wall on the right-hand side.
Okay.
I'm going to follow.
Now, as far as the people who don't have dark vision, how are they seeing?
Not my issue.
I'll bring up the rear. I'll keep an eye out behind us to make sure nothing surprises us from
Do you
behind.
guys pull torches out, or
Yeah, I guess we
lanterns,
would.
Okay. I'm going to stay further out in front then, just so I can not have my night vision
Who doesn't have night
obstructed.
vision? Just Rex and
Just me.
Tovi does not.
Tove.
Yeah, I was looking at line form, and I would assume that they have something, but I don't see it on this.
No,
little
I don't
sheet.
think they do. There's some animals do, but not many.
So, let me
And
ask-
outside, it was enough that you could move around and walk around, but definitely as you get in the cave, it becomes pitch black to the point where the humans or even Edrim's lion would have to. I mean, you can feel the walls and try to move around, but you're definitely blind at that point. And let me get the lion for. Let's see, where's the lion? Where's Edrim's lion? I'm sure I kept it somewhere, right?
Oh, we switched screens.
Did I
Or
put
is it
on
still
the
loading?
screen?
I thought he had a fade to black option or something. I wasn't sure there.
I see my token on the lower right.
Yeah, your human token should be down there. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
the
now I
lion
do
one.
when I drag it down that way. Okay.
This map is killing my browser. Holy crap, this is huge.
Why don't I have that? It's weird.
Is it still on the map where we fought those?
No, it wasn't there.
gar-
Thought it was, but it wasn't. Let me see. It should be alphabetical. But yeah, you guys enter HIJKL. Why would lion not be there? All right, let's look for. I know I brought it over before. Just have to look at my list.
So one of the trade-offs that I think I had for becoming a half drow was I lost the cantrips, right?
Yeah, Drow would only have those cantrips, and you would have 60 feet of dark vision
Right.
instead of 120.
Right. Okay. Okay.
All right. Let's see. There's the lion. All right, so that should be for Edrim. Edrim can control it. You have sight, but you don't emit sight, so save. All right, so yeah, so you guys are in a pitch black. I'm gonna move this to the GM layer, so I don't think you can see it. All right, can you see your lion token, Edrim?
Yep.
Okay. So what are you guys doing? You're in a cave.
So if we got torches, then I'm not gonna bring up rear. I'm probably gonna be more out front, and
So who
Kind of
has a
scout.
torch?
would assume it would be either Tove or Rex.
Yeah, I would probably have the torch.
Okay, where'd Brian's token go now?
It's right there. I just moved it.
under the lion.
Edrim.
Gotcha.
I had a lion on top of me. Sorry.
All right, so we'll because
I
you
was
probably can't
lying
see.
around.
Oh no!
Yes, I
Sight.
did.
You can see 30, and it goes dim starting at 20. That's pretty generous for a torch. So Rex, you should have sight now.
I
Good.
do. I do.
Perfect. Yep. Tovi will have a torch. Unless somebody tells her not to. Sight. 30.
Do we want to have two
20.
torches, or do we just have one, so that if we need to snuff one out, we can do that? quickly? I mean, is 2 overkill? It seems like a narrow passage.
She kind of gives you a look of, for somebody who can't see if it goes out, it doesn't seem like overkill to her.
Yeah, I kind of agree. So if maybe one goes out, we'd have a backup.
Okay. Jarral will just shrug at both. He'll suggest that you torch people should stay to the back.
I would nod and agree.
Okay, so Ardreth, is your perception or even stealth is that something that you have a proficiency in, or?
I've got a higher dex, so stealth is a 6, and perception passive is an 18. So I can go out of front of ways.
Okay. So I guess the 2 of us then, I guess, would go out front, and I guess the rest would follow behind. Maybe.
And I'll stick to the right-hand side of the wall.
Okay, and I'll go to the left.
Okay.
Do we want to space it out like
Probably best to.
20, 30 feet?
Sure.
So we're within eye shot, but we can also see a little further.
Yeah, what I'll do, since I can see around this edge, is I'll just keep moving forward along this wall for a bit.
Okay.
And then I'll motion to you to head down the left-hand wall. And I'll
All
have my bow out right now.
All right. So these big squares, are they 5 feet, 10 feet?
Squares are 5 feet. Yep.
Okay. So the little dots, they don't mean anything.
Nope. Oh, you
So,
can use the ruler
Jarral, I'll
too.
look at you and do one with my left hand. I'll motion you towards that bottom left-hand corner of the
Yep.
cave area so that you can look up.
15, 20. So what, are we going to go in like 30 foot, 20, 30 foot increments? All right, so I'm going to cautiously. So I can see up to the north there. So I'm going to, as cautiously as I can, move. Kind of. I want to go. Dang it! I want to go here, but I'm going to go very slowly. And if I see something around the corner or something comes into view to the north, I'm going to stop. Still there?
Yep.
Okay. So... let me zoom out a bit. This map is killing me. Okay. So I'm assuming I haven't detected or seen anything up to that point?
Just what you see on the map.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to start to go around the corner.
Yeah, I'm going to wave forward, just kind of come slowly.
And even though I have my bow out, I don't know if I can mentally prepare fear, but as I go forward, kind of like Jarl's reaction was to pause if he sees something if I see a group of
Yeah, I'll stop you.
creatures. Okay, perfect. We're both doing super slow progression. All right, I'll motion to Jarral to start to move up.
Okay.
Slide to that point right there. I'll motion to you to start to go down the left-hand side of the of the wall.
Okay. So I'm gonna just sort of. Well, I guess you've already kind of gone around the corner there, right? So you can.
Yeah, I was hoping we could see in opposite directions, so I was trying to split the distance there.
All right. So I'm gonna scoot around the corner into this little alcove kind of thing.
Okay. When he does that, I'm slowly going to move up to this point here. Okay. When I hit this, just like with Jarral before, I'm going to go slowly across to the other side.
Okay.
Ready to stop if I see anything along the way. When I get into position there, then we can start moving again.
All right, and I'm gonna look for signals to whether or not I can go ahead or not.
If I do push to talk, I'll motion you ahead a little bit, and at the same time, I'll start to progress forward too.
All right, so I'll kind of move myself to this spot here. So I don't see anything. All right, so I'm gonna indicate that I don't see anything yet, but then sort of indicate with both arms that it kind of opens up, and then shrug which way do we want to go.
And I'll point at you and shrug back, kind of like your call.
I'm gonna indicate to down and to the left.
Okay. To do it, I'm going to break this corner a little bit just to see up.
Okay. I think there's a joke in there somewhere. All right. So I'm gonna basically inch.
Stay here until you get in position down there.
Okay, so I'm gonna inch my way down until I get to the end here. So before we move any further, the guys that are behind us, are they following or are they waiting for us to come back and tell them?
You don't see anybody. You don't hear anything.
What did we retroactively agree
So
to?
the torches haven't come around the corner.
And that's good. I mean,
I'm assuming we agreed that the torches would stay back because we didn't want to give ourselves away, and
Okay.
that you guys would
Can
probably come back once you found something.
Gotcha. But I can't see Edrim having come around that corner yet. Distance-wise, I could see him with night vision, but
well, he wouldn't have followed us, would he? Because he doesn't have night vision.
his token's behind the wall right now. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. So.
you can see what you can see. Yeah.
But I can't see his token. Well, I can.
Yep.
Yeah.
The line's there.
A
All
tiny
right.
bit.
So, but he couldn't see me, could he? Because he doesn't have night vision, so it doesn't much matter.
That's correct. I am
Okay.
at the edge of the torchlight.
All right, so Jarral, I'm going to motion for you to go a little bit further down, but I'm going to stay in this location. So I'll point at you to go further down, and then I'll point towards me with my thumb and kind of do one of those stay across my, cut across my neck like I'm going to stay here. As much as I can pantomime that to you.
All right, so I am going to. I'm going to just kind of peek around the corner here to see what I see down here. What do we see? Like, is there any features or anything, or is it just like empty cave?
The walls are like a natural, almost sandstone type cavern. It does not appear to be worked. You're not seeing anything as you've been looking around it. From what you guys have been doing so far, is you've been inching forward and you've been, watching for something to jump out or see something before it jumps out. So you haven't seen anything like that. You haven't really stopped to search or look around or do any investigation. You're just kind of, you haven't seen anything as far as creatures or anything like that.
Okay, so I'm going to just kind of survey this not so much the area here, but more kind of the walls to see if there's anything that stands out.
All right, so yeah, you can do a investigation roll. It'll take about 10 minutes to search around and look around.
All right. Well, I'm not actually going to go around. I'm just going to kind of look.
Oh, well, yeah, if investigation means you're kind of moving around and you're actually actively looking for stuff, just standing in spot. You don't see anything but cavern wall and...
Okay.
I'm going to move to this far wall while he's down there doing that.
All right. So, going to come back to here and kind of indicate that there's nothing that I've seen yet, and then just kind of ask, what do you see? Not in words, but try and motion. Like, what do you? Do you see anything?
I'll shake my head no.
Okay, so I'll motion and then to come back.
Okay.
And just kind of, I guess we'll huddle up here where I'm at.
And so the two of you out front, go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Okay. It's coming, I promise.
Now watch that we're in the cave, the half drow's gonna... Oh, I shouldn't have said it.
Are you kidding me?
Doesn't he get like a super cave bonus?
No. I wish.
Okay.
Ardreth was so stealthy, I missed his foot.
It's the half-foot elf who's cave.
Yeah, he's not making any noise as he moves around. Jarral's made some noise as he moved around.
So when we get, unless something's happened, when we get back together, I'm just going to indicate that maybe we should bring everybody up to kind of this area here. If my mouse will work. Oh my lord, what is going on? I think my browser might have crashed. Holy crap, that took a long time. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. So Edrim is up next to us now, right?
Yep.
So I'll motion to Edrim. I'm assuming at this distance he could see us to go back in. I'll point at him, point back towards where they're at, and make a, pull my hand towards us as go get them and bring them up.
I don't see anything north of me. I'm right at the edge of the torchlight, so I could see south where the torches are. That's it.
But do you see me?
Nope.
You're right next to me.
You're outside of the torchlight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
You can smell Jarral. You probably don't know that Ardreth is standing 5 feet from you.
all right, so we don't, so we see him, but he doesn't see us. Do I sense that Edrim is sniffing around?
What are you doing, Edrim?
Yeah, that's basically it. I'm just skirting the edge of the torchlight, waiting for something to happen.
All right, so when I'm assuming that you were still right next to me, so I'm gonna very slowly just kind of reach my hand toward your snout.
No, he moved off.
Oh, he moved off already.
Yep.
Okay. I'm like in time warp here. Everything's running really slow on my end. Okay. I don't want to
Well,
make any...
we can see where they're at.
Yeah,
Porch
so
is just around the corner, so
I'm just gonna... I'll wave that I'll go ahead and bring them
Sure.
up. So I'll go back and just kind of tell everybody to kind of sit right there.
Okay. I see him come in and motion to us to move up, so we do.
I'm gonna start exploring up to the right a little bit when Jarral gets back.
Okay.
Okay, so once everybody's there, so while I'm around the corner, I just kind of indicate to everybody, just kind of hang back. We're going to continue to look around. So far, what we've seen, I don't think there's anything in here that would catch the light from where you're at. So you should be okay here, but you're also within reach that if we yell, you can get to us fairly quickly.
Okay, yeah. I'll just wait here.
Okay, so, and when we were together, I just kind of, I guess we expand on what we've already kind of signaled to each other, that I did not see anything around the corner to the bottom left. It does open up to the west, but I couldn't see into that area.
Okay. When you come back over to the spot, I'll motion for you to follow me.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to where you were before.
Edrim, you can do a perception check with advantage at the spot you're at.
Oh no.
Yeah, you kind of detect probably the presence of a little bit of bone, a little bit of dusty cloth. Well, probably not even cloth, but just detritus. It definitely seems like it's something that's really old. You kind of get the impression that maybe something had been here or camped here or was here, but it's like years and years and years and years ago.
Okay.
So I'll motion to Jarral for us to start moving down this hallway next to us where you're at. So for you to start to break the corner there.
Okay. So that you don't see anything up or to the right?
I didn't in the other direction, so
Okay.
as I'm just exploring this way.
Alright, so I'll come around. Is it the browser? Yeah, it's just taking forever. Holy smokes. I've tried to move this thing about 4 times.
And I was going to say, I'm not seeing it here.
There we go. All right.
All right, and I look at you now. I point up towards that right-hand corner, and I give you the nothing up there motion again.
Okay.
And then I motion that we should head down to the left.
All right. So I will. So I'm gonna point to you, and then I'm gonna point down to the bottom right or bottom left, and kind of, sort of asking a question. Does it open up? So wave my arms wide, and then
Okay.
shrug.
I point at you until you go around the corner and motion around the corner for you
Okay.
to move.
So this is probably. Okay. So this is just a big circle.
So far, it looks like a giant donut. So
Right.
So I point at you and motion straight ahead, do we go as in that way or back? So then
I'll nod and point forward.
Okay, so we should both go forward? All right.
Yeah. As I'm going forward, I'm going to pay more attention to the wall to my right, to my left, and just kind of go a little extra slow. And just see if I notice anything about the wall as I'm traveling around.
I'll keep moving down this outside wall.
And I'll try and make my way down to here.
Nope, seems to be cavern wall. It's not worked stone. It seems to be natural cave.
Okay. So I'm going to, when Ardreth is right where he's at, before he goes around the corner, I'm going to indicate to stop. And then I'll indicate that it does open up around to the corner to your right. And then, once he's acknowledged that, I'll just indicate go ahead and move forward.
Yep, I'll go around the corner then.
And as he's doing that, I'm going to basically go to where he was at.
Okay, I'll go further down this cave then. All right, and I start to turn back towards Jarral.
Okay. So I'm assuming you're indicating it continues on? Or does it end? Are you signaling to me? Oh.
I just start walking away across the hall. So I signal you as in I just put my hand across my neck like a cut and I sign and then start this way.
So basically the indication is there's nothing in this cave.
Yeah. Or you could take that from the way that I'm walking away from it, yes.
Yeah, that would be my inference.
Yeah.
How high are the ceilings of this cave?
It goes up and down everywhere from 10 feet, 20 feet. Sometimes it seems to be out of your sight line.
So I'm going to walk back in the same direction back to where we left the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm going back, I'm going to look up and pay more attention to the ceiling.
And I'll go to this upper area here when we get back.
What are you looking for?
Openings, creatures, black pudding.
Yeah, you're not really seeing anything as you go. I mean, some of the areas seem to go up further than you can see. Some don't.
Okay. So they go up above 60 feet?
Yep, in some areas. Yep.
Okay. I just got a connection to the server's been interrupted.
Yeah, I'm still connected to the game, but I'm by myself in here. None of you guys are connected to it.
I got the same note, but I see everyone.
As did I.
Okay. So I mean, I guess. So when Ardreth, you said you're going back up to the right.
Yeah, I'm going back up to the area where they were, but I'm going to go to the upper section and in the area we haven't explored yet.
Oh, I thought that just kind of wrapped around. Okay.
No, we didn't go up to the right yet. We've got to go look at this area up here.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to come back to the group, just kind of quickly tell them that we've done a circuit around to the west. Haven't found anything. We're now going to go back up to the northeast. So just sit tight.
All right. I nod.
Okay, I'll head up this way just a little bit, but I'm waiting for Jarral to show up.
All right. I think I'm connected again.
Yeah, looks like I am.
All right. So
This time I'll motion you to the far side of the hallway, or opposite wall from me.
like right there.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So I indicate that it looks like
wondering-
opens up both to the
Okay.
northeast and the southeast.
I'm gonna point you towards the northwest.
Northwest or northeast?
So northwest.
Oh, for some reason I thought that closed off. Okay.
We
All
haven't
right.
looked up that way over there, so I'll point you towards that one first.
All right, my bad. My bad assumption on my part.
But when I point you in that direction, I'm also gonna move down this wall a little ways just to see there.
To the east. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So-
gonna move this way, but I'm pointing you towards the opposite direction. I'll follow you. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So you're gonna see what I just indicated. Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm going to come up to here. I'm gonna peek around the. Well, try and peek around the corner. And then cross the opening to the other side.
Okay. And then I'll follow to where you were just at.
Okay.
Then I'll motion you to start down the hallway.
Okay.
All my army hand signals are coming back.
All right. So I'll motion you to come back up behind me.
Yep. I'm up there, but I had to move ahead of you.
Oh, okay.
I put my token on top of yours by mistake. So okay, I'm behind you.
Okay, so you can see what I see.
Yep.
I'm going to.
Might as
I'm
well
gonna
move up a little further.
Yeah, I'm gonna scoot around to the right, and then I'll indicate you
Okay.
to go to the far wall directly
Sounds good.
above us.
Okay.
So I'll go right up to the corner here. All right, I see that it opens up, so I'm gonna tuck myself into the cubby here.
When you get to that point and you're stationary, I'll go around the corner here. Oh, I'm noticing something up there.
Okay, I see. So you already see that there's a path that goes
Rubble.
north and
Yep.
northeast.
Yep.
So what?
So I'll keep moving you down the
see
wall
something?
a little ways. Yeah.
Are you telling me to hold or keep?
No,
moving?
I'm pointing you down the wall.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna try to get around this corner a little bit further. Why does that end right there? Do I see nothing to my north other than what looks like some rocks?
Yeah, it definitely looks like debris.
I'm getting no field. Oh, so it ends as in a debris wall. Okay.
Yeah, I'll let's see, that's on this level. Nope, must be on the map level.
So I can see the debris.
Oh, the debris moved closer to me.
If
Just so
you
you can
look
see it
back
better.
at me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kind of put my hand up, like stop.
Yep.
And then
I
kind
pull
of
back around the corner.
thumb back to the other folks. So let's go back.
Okay.
So then I would, unless something happens, I would just say let's move ourselves just right back to the.
Well, I was wondering if you want to explore that area. When we get to the opening, I'm gonna tap you on the I'm gonna tap you on the shoulder
Uh-huh.
and kind of point towards this other hallway here.
Oh, to the right?
Yeah, I'm gonna point towards this other direction and see if we want to head down that hall there.
Okay.
So if you
Yeah,
come back
let's
to
do
where
that.
I'm at. Yep, okay.
If I can get my token to move. It doesn't want to move. I'm in two places in the same time?
Oh yeah, I don't even see your token anymore.
No, I'm still back in the northern part.
Well, I'll do the exploring for both of us for now till you catch up.
What is going on? Oh my lord.
So I'm the same way we were doing those last sections, Lucian. I'll be on one wall, just assume Jarral's on the other from me.
Sure.
Now
we
he
go.
is there.
All right. Wow, that was an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
So we're up. Go up to the left.
yeah, I don't see anything to the bottom right.
Okay.
So I'm going to go up. Am I
So we
following you, or am
basically,
I going the other way?
you and I are on opposite sides of the cave, so just come up opposite me
Okay.
on the opposite wall. Figure the easiest. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we can finish out this last area down here.
There's nothing down there.
So then we can head back.
Okay.
All right, let's go back and get them, and then we'll head up towards that debris we saw.
All right.
All right, so we'll get them. We'll get the whole party back together again here. And let them know. We all whisper. We searched most of the cave, but we think we found an area that goes on. So if you want to follow us, we can tell you where to hold up while we start to explore the debris.
After you.
All right.
I think we should probably all just group up at that debris, right? Or
Okay.
not group up, but
Yeah.
all kind of hang in that area.
Okay, we'll head up that way.
And go ahead and do stealth check for Rex and Edrim. And I'll do Tovi.
Unless there's something that, because this map is really slow. Is there a way you can move us all up there?
She doesn't have stealth, so we'll just do the dex check. Yeah, she's making a lot of noise. Okay.
Which going with the torchlight's helping some.
She's like a bigger version of Pike. All right, so I think we feel comfortable enough whispering at this point, at least where we're at. So, I think we probably should just. This is where we should just kind of wait and hang back here.
Are we going to go explore the debris?
Yeah, do we have time to do that in this section?
Yeah, I was hoping to. Does people need to leave?
I can go a little bit later tonight than 11, so.
Yep, I can do that.
As can I.
All right.
Sure.
So what are we seeing then?
So the debris here seems to be just stones stacked in the hallway. It goes up towards the ceiling. The ceiling's only probably 10 feet in this area that moves north. And these stones are kind of blocking the...
Gotcha. So it's filled it up completely.
Pretty
Okay.
close.
All right.
Not entirely.
I do motion to Jarral that we haven't explored that other. Well, I can just whisper to him. We haven't explored that other area. Do we want to look at that real quick? And then
Yeah.
if not, we'll go through the debris. Okay.
No, I think we should explore the rest of the area first.
All right.
Does it look like the rocks were like stacked there purposefully, or does it look like they were like part of a collapse?
You can go up to him and do an investigation check.
All right.
I'll just explore this other area while Jarral does that. Okay. And then I see there's nothing there, and I'll come back to the party.
Okay. Investigation, right?
Correct.
Oh no! Why does it have to be investigation?
I'm going to do the same.
Yeah, Ardreth, you get the impression that these were definitely stacked here. It's not like you don't think it was a cave-in, or it doesn't even match the kind of the cave walls. It's definitely somebody stacked this
Okay.
here.
Does it look like we can start to take them down without getting a big collapse?
Yeah, they just seems like a pile that, and it
Okay.
mostly goes to the ceiling. It doesn't quite go all the way up to
Alright.
the ceiling, but it's pretty close.
I'll motion to Jarral, and I'm going to climb up a little bit as much as I can slowly maintain my footing, and grab a rock and hand it to him.
All right.
All right, so as you climb the pile, go ahead and do a stealth check since you're trying to be quiet.
Can we see around it, or is it blocking like wall to wall?
It at the bottom area, standing and looking at it, it's blocking wall to wall. Towards the top, it doesn't look like it goes completely to the top. It just looks like it's close.
Oh, if I
Okay.
can look over the top then as I get up there.
Yeah, you.
I thought it was going. Okay, I'll do that instead of. I thought it went all the way up to the ceiling and it was kind of blocking it off. So I'll go to the top and try to look over the other side.
Yeah, I'm gonna move your token, even though you're
Okay.
not necessarily there, but just so you get a look. So as you're scrabbled up the stones, and some of them tumble a little bit, not very loud, but a few of them, and then you're at the top, kind of on your belly, looking over this pile.
All right. Do I think I could fit through? I guess the other question then is
Yeah,
could the
you probably
rest of the
could.
party
You
fit through?
could squeeze through. It's definitely not.
Okay. Could the rest of the party squeeze through too, do I think?
Yeah, you
Okay.
think they probably could.
I'll motion back to everyone else that we should go through. And I'll start crawling through.
I'm gonna point to the torchlights and kind of shrug. Like, is that going to be an issue?
I start crawling through.
Okay. I shrug again, and I guess motion to follow. So, I guess you weren't that stealthy going up there, right? So it's probably not a big deal. But I'm gonna. And in fact, because Tove is making all that noise, it's probably not even a. I'm just gonna go up there.
Tove the subtle.
Yeah, exactly. Clang, clang, clang.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, do you need us to move, or can you unblock that, or?
Oh, I crawled through. I think.
No,
I'm done.
I mean on the map.
Oh, yeah.
'cause-
Gotcha. All right. There we go.
Yeah, you should be able to move up to it.
I don't think I can go past it though.
Let's see. Can I grab it?
I think you have that blocked off.
Yeah. All right. Let me just do it this way then.
Okay.
And then make a stealth check as you climb over the rocks.
I'm not even trying to be stealthy.
That's okay. I still need to see what.
Oh, all right.
He's doing whether or not you're slipping.
Hmm. Oh my God! Stop. Like a feather.
Okay. Yep. Nothing dislodges as you go.
All right.
And the,
so
whoever
I'm
else is going over would do the same thing.
gonna slowly make myself to the opposite wall. In fact, when I, yeah, that's fine.
I will try going through next if I can fit through there.
You're
Yeah,
a cat. You can fit
can
anywhere.
Yeah, Rex, you kind of knock some rocks loose, just like Tovi does as she goes through. You can hear him clatter a little bit.
All right. So I'm going to indicate that I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to.
Edrim, go ahead and do a perception check with advantage, your smell.
I'm also going to motion to everybody to kind of hang back in where they're at, not come forward. So I'm going to inch my way around the corner, kind of hide around this outcrop. We're trying to. And motion to Ardreth to come around.
Edrim is obviously sniffing the air to the west, as if he's trying to call attention to it.
To the west. Okay. I assume we hear that since it's pretty quiet in here, I assume.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Okay, so I'm gonna look back. Do I see what do I see? Do I see you kind of agitated or
Curious, I guess.
okay. So I'm gonna signal to Ardreth to see if did you catch that? Or did you understand that Edrim was saying that there's something this way?
No, I just look at Jarral like, what?
So I'm gonna point to Edrim.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna point to the west
Gotcha.
and kind of push my hands down, like be cautious.
Okay.
And I'm going to very slowly work my way over here. Okay. And as I'm looking for a go ahead from Ardreth.
Yep, I'll point him to go ahead.
All right, so I am. So I see that this will split us, and since this is the first time we've had any indication that to be cautious, I'm going to come down your side and go across from you rather than go
Okay.
down that other way.
Sounds good.
And then I'm going to, I guess, make my way around the corner down here. And then I'm going to move down to the corner here and indicate that you can move ahead. Yeah, like that.
And then both of you can do a perception check now.
Okay. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, you get the sense that you smell fresh air.
Fresh air. Interesting. Let me pop this out so I don't have to deal with it. I'm gonna motion and just kind of indicate with my nose. Do you smell?
Yeah, Ardreth would pick it up too.
I'm gonna do the two fingers with the eyes thing. Do you see anything ahead?
I shake my head no.
Okay. And then I point to myself. Should I go ahead?
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna scoot around the corner. So I'm going to point directly to the west to kind of indicate, does it open up over there? Or should I go south?
I'll point at you to follow me. So go straight across. See the rock outcropping straight ahead of you?
Yep.
So I'll point at that rock cropping ahead of you there.
Okay.
When you went across that spot, Jarral, right here is when you notice the fresh air seems to be coming from above you.
Okay. Directly above me?
Seems like it. We're pretty close.
Alright, so at that point then I'm gonna take a step back to where I was. And I'm gonna look up and see what I can see.
From there, you're not really seeing anything. It looks like it goes up into the darkness. It's definitely higher than 60 feet in this area.
Don't like that. So I'm gonna wait until I can get Ardreth's eye contact, and then I'm gonna gesture to the ceiling, and then gesture to my nose, trying to indicate that that smell that we detected is coming from up there.
All right, I'll look up too, and I'm assuming I don't see anything either.
Yeah, it's you don't even
Okay.
see the ceiling at this point. It's definitely higher than 60 feet up.
All right, well, I'm gonna motion to keep going around the corner then.
Okay, I'm gonna nod. I'm gonna go to where I was gonna go in the first place.
Okay.
Just back to here. And I'll indicate that it does open up to the south. So I'll motion for you to move ahead.
Okay.
And then once I see you disappear from my view, I'm gonna come around the corner on the other side. Assuming that this is a circle, which it is. Alright, so I'm going to move down here and indicate that he can come around. And then... Okay. So I'll follow down likewise.
And Ardreth, as you make that spot, you see eyes staring at you.
Nice. Like human eyes or smaller eyes? Like from a bat-sized creature? Oh, yeah, I do. Okay.
And we'll go into initiative. So make sure you select your tokens.
What?
And roll initiative.
We weren't moving cautiously enough to sort of catch that? Well, we're
It's,
screwed. 'Cause
staring right at Ardreth as he comes around the corner. And he sees 3 sets of eyes.
Run away!
I will.
Am I rolling initiative too, I guess?
Yeah, everybody's rolling initiative. Yep, even the people in the back.
Because we need to go back and get them.
Oh, yeah. Don't. Yep. I only have to be faster than you.
Good luck with that!
Alright, is that everybody? Oh, no, that's not everybody. Let's get the last person there. Perfect. And I want... oh. I'm just getting the last token set up. Toggle. Okay, that's what I need. So to me. Oh, okay, good. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Up first is going to be Tovi. Doesn't know anything's going on, so we'll pass that turn. Edrim doesn't know anything's going on. Jarral will react before Ardreth does. You probably see Ardreth tense. It looked like he was about to step forward a little bit more and then comes to an abrupt halt. That's all you see.
All right, so does Ardreth motion or give any indication?
Nope. It's you're going before him.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's going on. I just know he stopped. So if I don't even have eye contact with him, I mean, there's nothing I can. So I guess
he just stopped mid stride is what you saw, and you can react to that.
I guess I'll hold my action.
Okay, what's the trigger?
The trigger will be
or what
I
action
guess I
are
can't
you
hold
holding?
my movement, can I? I can only hold my action. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
you're
action,
holding,
I can
you
use
hold
I
an
can,
action.
Yeah, I can dash. So I'm gonna hold my action. So if he starts running away, I'm gonna dash, and if something attacks him, I'm going to
You only get one trigger.
only get one trigger.
No.
So that'll be my trigger then. If he starts running away, I'm gonna dash back.
Okay. Rex doesn't know anything is up. Ardreth.
Ardreth
It's looking
starts
at you and
running away. Like as fast as I can. 5, 10. What is it? It's 30, so can I go 10, 20, 25, 30? I can go double on a run?
You go your base movement, and then a dash is another base move, so yeah, it's like double it.
Alright, I'm running.
Alright. So I'm gonna follow you.
So yeah, you see him turn, so he begins to dash, you can dash.
Alright, so I dash my movement as far as I can go. No, I can't. Dang it. I have to go this way. It doesn't let me actually go across the black. It's racist. Okay. So I make it back to there. Oh my god, this map is killing me. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50. I'm assuming that if I were to yell, they would hear me beyond, let's say, 100 feet in this cavern.
Yeah, they should be able to hear a yell.
Alright, so since we're running, I'm going to yell, we're under attack. We're under attack!
Alright. You're both done dashing?
Yeah, I've only got 55 for my movement.
At least for this turn.
Yeah.
All right. So you hear the roar of a lion. It echoes and reverberates throughout the entire cavern. In fact, Edrim and Tovi and Rex, you hear the roar of a lion. And
it's not our lion.
The two that are closer hear the beating of wings. You feel the rushing of wind of something go over the top of you, and then land on the ground in front of you.
How much movement does that thing have?
10 million.
No kidding.
Uh,
Unless it came from above.
all right. Tovi is up. So she heard under attack, so she draw her greatsword in one hand. She looks at Rex and the torch. She doesn't like that option at all. And she begins to run forward. 25, 30. She doesn't see anything, so she's going to try to move again. She doesn't really know where to go, though. 10, 15, 20. So she gets to there. And she doesn't see anything. So she's done. Edrim, you're up.
I roar a challenge in response.
Okay.
And let's see how far this is going to be. That's my regular movement. I don't see anything around the corner. So I will dash and head over here. Do I send anything out this way?
You're getting more fresh air. And then, yeah, you smell some type of creature that you've not smelt before.
Okay, so I'm heading the right way at the moment.
It definitely sounds like where the noises come from.
Okay. I will roar again as I head down this direction.
Okay. Brings us to Jarral. You were up.
Oh, shit.
I don't even...
Is there a way to recover if you just make a mistake and delete a couple spells?
Not easily.
Add them back in?
Well, luckily I remember one of them. I don't remember what the other ones were there. Heal wounds, I think, was one. I'll figure it out. Shoot.
So I will yell to Edrim. So I guess I saw that he was coming, sort of heading in the southwesterly direction. So I'll just say forward and to your right.
Okay.
Would I think I saw Tove. Where is Tove, like, hidden behind that outcrop?
Yeah, you have no line of sight on her at the moment.
Would I have seen her coming around that way?
You would have seen probably the light, but you're probably very fixated on what's in front of you. Her light moved up that way, and you probably see the light at the Edrim's at the edge of the light, but no further. So she has to be somewhere near Edrim, but you're not.
All right, I'm just not sure if she went kind of north or if she went.
Yeah, you don't know.
The same direction. All right. I mean, I don't think there's much I can do other than attack this stupid thing. Yeah, I guess that's all I can do. I mean, we're not going to outrun it if it just caught up to us like nothing. So... it's been a while since I played this. Alright. We'll do a to. I'm going. So I have stunning strike, which is hit another creature. Okay, when I hit. All right. So I'm gonna attack. 2 unarmed attacks. Assuming the first one misses and the second one hits. I hope.
First one miss, second one hits.
Okay. So that's for 4. And then... Oh, it's supposed to be short, so that's fine. So I take a swipe at it with my hands. And then I try and use my monkish ways to...
You did 4 points?
4 points.
Okay.
And whatever head that I hit, I try and... My hand just kind of rests there as it hits, like almost in slow motion. And I can feel... my key just kind of interfering with its key. And I spend 1 key point to attempt a stunning strike. The target must succeed a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the end of my next turn. Constitution saving throw of 13.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Nope. Rolls a 4.
Okay. So it's stunned until the end of my next turn. I'm also going to spend another key point and use Flurry of Blows, which is immediately after I take the attack action on my turn, I can spend a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Okay. And you want to roll again because you'll have advantage.
Right.
So, well, okay, so we'll just take the 2 as the first one. So first one hits with a 16, second one hits with an 18.
Okay. Eat my fist, varmint. For another 10.
Okay.
So I try and aim for the same head that I hit.
All right, minus 10. Okay.
That is my turn.
Rex, you are up.
All right, I'm just gonna run towards the sound of chaos.
Definitely coming from the west.
All right, that's my 30 feet.
Okay. You want to use a dash?
Sure.
So if you use a dash as your action, you'll get another 30 feet on top of the first 30 feet. And then and you can do a bonus action, or that'd be it.
That'll end my turn.
Okay. Ardreth, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to cast Dissonant Whisper
Okay.
as a 3rd level spell, though. So it should give me 5 die 6.
Okay.
Is that like Careless Whisper?
Yeah, in a Careless Whisper. I'm trying to remember the rest of the song now. That's really, really bad.
Needs
I
to make
can
a
sing it
wisdom.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, it doesn't make it.
Okay, so it'll be 5 die 6 of damage.
Nice. Crit rolls. Ooh, not bad.
Okay.
No, that's why I did a 3rd level spell, because at this point this thing scares the crap out of me.
All right, 17 points of damage. Anything else? Movement or bonus action?
It flees, if available, as far as its speed allows, away from me.
Well, it's incapacitated at the moment, so I don't think it can move.
Oh, okay. All right. I will cast Bardic Inspiration on Jarral.
Okay, bonus action.
Sweet. I feel inspired.
You do.
Okay. Alright, so it brings it to its turn. So I think that's all it can do. I don't think it does anything. Unless it gets a... Does it say anything about making another save in the text of the ability?
No, it just says it's until the end of my next turn. So it expires at the end of my next turn, unless I hit it again.
What do you mean if you hit it again? If it takes
If
damage,
I-
does it end?
No, it says it's stunned until the end of my next turn. Doesn't give any indication about that.
Okay. Yeah, so that'll bring us back to Tove. So she's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Can't really do much but charge. Won't be able to do any other action. Brings us to Edrim.
I am going to take a pounce action. If I move at least 20 feet in a straight line, I can hit it with a claw attack, and I have a chance of knocking it prone. And I will be able to use pack tactics also, because I will be within 5 feet of an ally.
You get advantage because it's stunned anyways. Yeah, so you have advantage on the roll. Yeah, 14 will hit. I don't see your token moving.
Oh, sorry.
He's that fast.
Okay. Damage for the claw attack.
And then a strength saving throw against DC 13 to be knocked prone, or to save from being knocked prone.
Yeah, it's prone.
Okay. And I get a bite attack as a bonus action.
Okay. 19 would hit. 8 piercing damage. All right. Jarl's turn.
All right. I will attack it again with my short swords this time. So I swing up short swords.
Miss.
And again.
Miss.
Are you serious? He's stunned.
Yep.
Wow, that's just incredible. That's my turn. I can't do anything. Most of my bonus actions require at least one of my attacks to hit, so.
Yep. Creature is no longer incapacitated.
Yeah.
Rex is up.
I'm going to move my 30 feet and dash again to get to the creature.
Okay, yep.
And then I'm going to swing at it.
If you use a dash, you would need something else that would let you do an attack. So
I'm going
like
to
a
use
bonus?
Action Surge.
There you go. Perfect. Okay.
Well, you have 30 movement anyway, though, right?
Yeah, but it was 45
Oh, okay. I
to
gotcha.
get to it. Yeah. So I will use my action surge to swing at it.
Okay. Yeah, 27 hits.
Nice.
Sweet.
Crit.
So you can just, there you go, 11, 14. Okay.
And that will end my turn.
Ardreth's turn.
I'm gonna do Dissonant Whisper again as a 3rd level.
Okay.
So it's another Wisdom save.
18.
Okay. So it's 5 dice 6. If it saves, it's half.
So 8. Okay.
And it doesn't flee because of that, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't move. Bonus action or movement?
I am going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Edrim.
Okay.
Could I have used that on one of my attacks? Shoot, I could have, couldn't I?
Yeah, it can be used on attack rolls or saving throws or.
Totally forgot about that. If I
anything
don't die
else?
this turn, I'll use it next turn.
Nope, that was my bonus action.
Okay. Everybody can do a history check to see if any of you have actually know what this is or fought it before. Now everybody's here. So yeah, Rex, Jarral knows it. So you know this is to be it's a Chimera. Edrim knows it too, or Ardreth knows it. I'm sorry. All right. Oh wait, why'd you roll twice?
Because I didn't see the first one in there.
Oh, gotcha.
I didn't either. I ended up hitting it twice too.
All right. No biggie. All right, so the Chimera is up. First thing it's going to do is breathe the dragon head hunches down. It's going to use half its movement to get back on its feet, so it's no longer prone first. And then you see the dragon head let out a roar. It's a red dragon head. And then pointing and smelling the foul breath towards Jarral and Ardreth, a cone of fire is unleashed.
Do we have the foul breath here, or does it have the foul breath?
It.
Oh, okay. Good, I feel better.
So you're going to want to make a dexterity saving throw. Nope, Ardreth, you'll take the full brunt of it. Jarral will take half damage. So we're going to go ahead and... Oh, I didn't roll it. I wonder why not. Okay, so...
7, 8. Oh my god, I'm just dead. I'm crispy.
So Ardreth takes 36 fire damage. And 18 is what Jarral takes.
Which head was I hitting, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. You could have hit the lion head, I guess, which is the one that's kind of closer to the ground. It has a lion head, a dragon head, and a ram's head, but it doesn't. There's no mechanics to hitting different heads.
Okay. Oh, 18.
It then will attempt to bite Jarral. Its fire breath can be used in place of its bite or horn. Okay, so it's going to do a bite and a claw on Jarral. who's 5 feet away there.
Jarral's going down.
So this is just a regular, no advantage, so it's just a regular old bite. So okay, so the lion head tries to reach out and get a taste. It rolls 26, so that should hit your AC, and it rolls 13 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then the ram's head, let's see, I can do either the... No, I used the horns won't work, so it's a claw. So this would be a claw, a lion's claw reaches out and tries to slash you. 10 should not hit, though. So the claw misses.
That misses.
Movement-wise... Movement-wise, it still has movement. So it's going to move. It's going to flap its wings, take off, and go 5, 10...
Do we get attacks of opportunity?
Yeah, you will. Edrim, Tova, and Rex will get a free attack of opportunity as it leaves. Oh, actually, Jarral will also. You can use your reaction if you wish.
Okay.
So you guys can roll those. Edrim's a nope.
Five.
Yeah, she does 20.
Bardic Inspiration is what, a 1d8?
I believe
Yes,
so.
sir.
You'd have to ask Adrian. Yeah.
Okay.
Rex, 26 would hit, so you can click Rapier for the damage.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to expend a superiority die.
Okay.
How do I roll a 1d8?
Can you...
Slash roll.
In the
Yeah, slash
Oh,
R
1d8.
space 1d8. Make sure you can do it as a reaction. Right? Can
or
you
in the
spend it?
top left-hand corner, there's
Uh-huh.
like that
Oh, okay, I
arrow
see
and
it.
everything. See the
Gotcha.
dice right there?
Yeah, I
you can
gotcha.
set whatever dice you want with multiples.
I am using, by the way, Dan, the precision attack. It just says when you make a weapon attack against a creature, you can expend 1 superiority die to add it to the roll. You can use this before or after making the attack roll, but before any effects are applied.
Okay. Well, you already hit. Do you want to use it?
I do want to use it on top of whatever I hit.
Yeah, so you rolled a 26. You hit even without it. Is that what precision does? Let me look at it again.
I'm not sure if it meant damage or the actual hit.
Yeah, let's take a look. So it was called precision.
Precision attack. It just says add it to the roll.
Let's take a look. So I have not played... Oh, it's not listed in the compendium. Oh, is it a Battle Master?
Yes.
Yeah, let me look up my player's handbook real quick. 1 second. Always got to do one roll check. Martial archetypes. Battle Master. Maneuvers. Alright, here we go. So, precision attack. When you make a weapon attack roll against a creature, you can expend 1 superiority dice to roll. Add it to the roll. You can use... Yeah, so this is if you think you're going to miss, and then you would use that to then get a hit. So, like, if you rolled a 12... That would have been a good point to say. And you don't have to spend it at this point for that. You can use it on one of the other things you might have. But that's to try to make sure you hit.
Okay, gotcha. Never mind then.
Yeah. So you can keep that one for now. And what do we get for damage? A 12. Okay, perfect. Sweet. It's definitely got lots of wounds on it. You guys have hit it substantially many times, so it's hurting. But it is now Tovy's turn. She does not see where it went or what's happened. It just went up into the darkness of the ceiling and flew. So she's going to hold her action here. If anything comes within melee range, she will attack it. Edrim is up.
What about Ardreth?
I go after you.
I'm going to wait for it to come within 50 feet where I can make a pounce attack.
Okay. So holding action, Jarral, you're up.
It is within 50 feet right now, isn't it?
Yeah, but I can't
Except
see
you
it.
can't see it.
Oh, gotcha.
You don't go after Rex?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I go after. Yeah, I go after Rex, but Rex hasn't gone yet. You guys all had.
He just went.
You had an opportunity attack.
Oh, that's right.
I wasn't close
my
enough to
bad.
do that. No, that's okay.
Okay.
I'd
yeah. So
love to go, but yeah.
Hey, I give you permission.
There you go.
Jarral is going to take a moment and just kind of focus his breathing and use wholeness of body at 6th level. I can, as an action, regain hit points equal to 3 times my monk level. So I am level 6. I'm going to regain 18 hit points as my action.
Okay.
And I am going
So
to...
it's action. So you still have bonus action or movement?
I don't have a bonus action. For movement, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Alrighty. Rex, you are up.
I'm just
And
gonna
it-
hold. Oh, what?
I was also gonna ask everybody, where did it go? No,
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold and kind of watch to see if anything happens as well.
Well, Jarral and Ardreth can still see it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The other
Jarral
guys
was
can't.
still-
Oh, I can? Okay.
Okay, then I'm gonna shout. Where is it? Where did it go?
Down this way.
Yeah, it's
It's
currently
in the ceiling, right?
It's currently 20 feet above the ground. You can see it up. It's not out of your view range yet.
Mhm.
The ceilings are pretty tall in this room.
It flew to the south. It's in the air.
I guess I would probably start heading south then. Try and follow it.
Yeah?
So as you're moving, I'm gonna ask generally to everybody: do we pursue or do we hold?
Kill it.
Are we walking into a trap?
I think we should hold.
Are you done moving, Rex, or
Yes, I'm done. I'm done moving. I'm gonna say that as I move after
Okay.
he.
go ahead and
Yells
give me
that
a perception check now that you're in that spot. Yeah, 16. So you can smell fresh air coming from above you.
Okay. Do I see anything above me?
When you look up, you think you can see the night sky. It looks like there's maybe some overhang, and it must be that there's a hole in the ceiling that goes quite a ways up, but you think you can see some winking stars. It almost looks like it's some type of opening in the ceiling, but it's way up there. It's probably 100 feet up.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I would just hold right here, and that would end my turn.
Okay, Ardreth, you're up.
Dissonant Whisper again. At a 3rd level spell.
Okay. Rolls a 10.
Yep, so 19 points of damage, and this time it will have to flee from me. Unless, of course, I killed it, in that case it could flee to the ground. Fleeing to the ground would be good, too.
Alright, so it goes...
I think it should flee to the ground. Of course, this is exactly what I was hoping to avoid.
Anything else?
I'm actually going to use the rest of my movement to pull back in behind the party. I'm hurting, and I don't want to be sitting out there in front. And I'm trying to remember, Bardic Inspiration lasts. Doesn't actually say how long it lasts.
I think it's until
thought
they
it was 10 minutes.
use it.
Yeah, 10
Yeah,
minutes.
10 minutes.
All right. That will be the end of my turn.
Okay. Alright, so on its turn it can move back towards you. It doesn't look like it says anything about stays away.
No, it just says it flees its movement away from us.
Alright, so let's do this. Let's do a slash that. It's a 1 something something. Okay, nope. It's going to fly. You hear flapping wings, you hear the roar of the lion, the roar of the dragon.
The bleat of the goat. Doesn't it have a goat head too?
Yeah, but that's not
Okay.
making, not making any noise. All right, so it's done with doing what it's going to do. Tovi's up. She doesn't see any creature, so she's obviously standing there, so she's going to hold her action unless something comes within striking range. She's looking at the ceiling, she's looking all over, she doesn't see it. The noise is echoing off of the entire cavern at this point. It's so loud. Edrim, you're up.
I'm going to use my bonus action to change back into human form. And my action will be step up next to Ardreth here. Touch him with my staff and cure wounds.
Oh, hello.
Thank you.
Just a tip.
And I will add my Bardic Inspiration 1d8 to that.
All right, bringing your token up.
So, 6.
Token layer.
Yep, 16.
Hold on. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I got it. Oh, gotcha. You're switching his token back out. Thank you. Put some of the cinders out.
And that will be my turn.
All right. Jarl's up.
All right. How is everybody doing? Does anybody need heal?
I'm good.
I think we should keep after it. It's got to be hurting. We might as well take it out.
My concern is that we are walking into its lair, and that it could have an advantage in that area. But I agree, it's been hurt. So I guess I'll move forward. I'm going to this 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'm gonna go 35 down to here. Do I see it?
Nope. You hear flapping wings, and it seems to kind of reverberate off of all of the cavern walls, echoing back and forth.
From the south?
Currently, it sounds like it's all over the place.
So if let's say I was back here.
Mm-hmm.
Saw that? This thing is so finicky. So if I was back here, would I have the same sensation, or would...
Yeah, the cavern's playing tricks on the sounds. I mean, the way that stuff's bounce off the walls, it's hard to tell or pinpoint anything by it, just the sound.
So even in this narrow part where I'm kind of getting close to, it's not indicating whether or not it's coming stronger from the south or the north?
Nope.
Alright, so it's probably above me then. I'm going to step back so that I'm within range of the group. And I'm going to yell in Draconic. You do not wish to do this. Cease, and you will live.
Yeah, you just kind of hear a roar echoing once again.
Okay. And I will hold my action. If it does come down to attack, I will attack.
Okay. Rex is up.
How high did you say the cavern was again?
The cavern itself goes
Yeah.
up farther than you can see. You can tell that the hole that leads out to the sky is definitely at least 100 feet above you. You can't really see the cavern ceiling.
Okay.
It's definitely pretty high. Your torch goes up 30 feet and you don't see it.
I guess I'll just hold my action if it comes back down.
Okay.
And
Ardreth.
that'll be my turn.
I'm moving. For some reason, I can't click on my token though. Oh, that's because it's not my token. 28, 25, 30.
You all look alike.
And that's about it. And while I do it, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. Bonus action, any other movement? I'm not seeing the cure
Bonus
wounds. Oh,
action will
there
be
it
my
is.
last Bardic Inspiration on Rex.
All right. All right. It's a close battle, that's for sure. All right, Chimera. So let's
Get tired of these stupid birds.
yeah. So if it lands, yeah. So you hear the flapping of the wings as it's now moving, and it's definitely above. Let's move this back so I can just drop it in. And it's going to drop.
Would I have been able to roll an intimidation check on that thing? When I yelled at it in Draconic?
Intimidation? No.
No? Okay.
You,
It chuckles.
Actually, what's a better spot? So it's flying over the top of you. It's definitely above, off of the ground. Yeah, I think it's gonna... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I think it's gonna try to land... It's got so much movement, it's tough to figure out. I think I'll try... Yeah, actually it'll land close enough that, Jarral, you get an attack off.
Okay.
So you get your held attack. Attack action.
Right.
Ooh. Yeah, that would hit.
And I will use a key point for stunning strike. Needs to roll a 13 Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Dang it. Then I will also. Can I use a?
Nope. You get
I
your
can't use
attack
bonus
action.
action?
Yeah, no, you get your attack action on a hold.
Even though it says I can use it after an attack.
You just
Well,
did
it
the
does
fleur.
specifically say
You
bonus.
did the stunning. Yeah, but you don't get the bonus action piece of it.
Okay. I tried.
Thinking the person that's hit him the most is Jarral. Although the dissonant whispers just kind of made it mad, so yeah, let's do that. Let's do. Where does character sheet go? So it's going to use its last bit of movement. No, it's not. So, Jarral, you see it begin to... The dragon head reach for you again, and you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
God. I should make this unless I roll like crap.
Yep.
There we go.
So, it'll be half damage.
Doesn't make me feel any better though.
So 17.
What? Look at all those
Fire
big
damage.
numbers. I don't
That's a
like
lot
big
of high
numbers.
rolls.
That's like what I just healed myself for. Jeez. Oh, I'm hurting, man.
And then... Yeah, it's going to try to finish you off.
Well, it will.
Oh.
Yeah.
So the bite for 15 piercing damage as it bites into your body. Shakes its head a little bit.
Is that the critical? Or is that just the damage?
27 is the crit. The damage is 15
Okay.
piercing. Are you
Yeah,
still up?
I'm down.
Okay. The last claw attack will then go towards Ardreth. Hits with a 26, so 13 slashing damage.
Okay.
All right.
Oh shoot! I had Bardic Inspiration again and I didn't use it. Man.
Well, you made your save, so I don't think that would have mattered. Tovi is up. So can she finally make it? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She finally can do all her attacks.
Yay!
This is probably the end of the Chimera. Not going to be able to stand up to Greatsword, and Greatsword.
Softened it up for her.
Toby.
Thanks for showing up, Toby.
Nice. She takes one head off with each greatsword stroke.
One hit, 2 hits. Oh, didn't roll great. No, rolled super low. 19. Not as good as she can do. Still hurting though. It's definitely the ram's head seems to not be responding much. Might be a broken wing at this point. That's her action. Edrim, you were up. Human form, Edrim. And we don't hear you.
He does some cool flailing killer stuff and it dies.
There. I move up and throw a javelin at it.
Okay, yeah, 16 would hit. 5 more piercing damage as a javelin sticks out of its hide. Still kicking. Any other actions?
That will be it.
All right, Jarral, we need a death save. Ooh, 1 fail. Not so good.
Come on, guys!
Rex is up.
All right, I'm gonna move up to the creature and attack it twice.
Nice.
I believe in you, Rex.
Both are a hit.
Sweet.
So for a total of 18. On your second hit, Rex, describe how you dispatch the Chimera.
Yes!
Woohoo!
I saw the dragon head burning my friend, so I'm going to just clean cut the head of the dragon right off the body.
Nice. As it crashes to the floor, defeated. Blood
A little
and
late,
gush
but thank you.
and gore. Ardreth, let's finish out the last of the turn. So Ardreth, you would get one more action.
I am going to do. I'm trying to figure out cure wounds at 2nd level on Jarral.
All right.
One die 8 plus my spellcaster ability, and it's a 2, so it'll be 2 die 8.
I'm assuming I can't use Bardic Inspiration on a death save, right?
So it's my spell attack bonus is 6. Right?
No,
So
it says
15?
specifically like saving throws, whereas death save's different.
I was sort of joking.
Yeah.
You get
Otherwise,
15,
it'll win.
15 points, Joe.
15. Thank you. Thank you.
I might as well use a healing spell once in a fight as a bard. Come on. Alright, whatever.
All right, and we are out of initiative. You
Another 20
have
points for Jarral.
Ooh, thank you. Jarrell's feeling much better now.
finished it out there. And what I think we'll do is we'll go ahead and call our episode there.
14 for Ardreth.
Thank you, sir.
When we come back, we will. There's just a tiny bit of cave you've not explored, and at the end of that, in our next session. Now, our next session will be on a Monday, where everybody will be back together, and it will be not the 5th, but the 12th, where we'll have the entire team back together. So everybody will come back together, and we'll finish off a small little scene where you guys find out what you found in the rest of the cave. And we'll just kind of skip past it pretty quick because there's hardly anything left there. And then we will have the two groups communicate with each other and then decide how they're going to meet up. and that's where our session will be. So on the 12th of Storm King's Thunder, we'll bring the two teams back together, and they will be continuing on their quest to end the tyranny of these rampaging giants. So hopefully everybody enjoyed the game. It was pretty fun. If you missed anything, you can definitely check it out on YouTube, which is where we'll put all of the videos, or the VODs in Twitch at SirLucien. And you can definitely check out the players. Some of the players also have channels. So like MC Colonel has a channel you can check out for YouTube and streaming. Of this group, that is all of the people, I believe. So not to keep anybody, we went super late tonight, but we wanted to get that battle over and get everything caught up. So now that we have that done, it should be fun. We're going back to every Monday night starting the 12th. So we should get lots of good gaming in. So hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Later.